to us now. When the whole world here is crying out, it's what I know very well. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our grounds. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear the sound. What is it now? My brother got now. What is it? My brother got now. What is it now? Let's go. What is it now? Yo, get the one of the Najabano, get the Tabino, say a green with the Falano, 200 by the Tamono, with the Maki in the book with the John Weah with the Falano. What will my Jama be the friend that they never said I can't want to sell a door, not a prayer. People are the Jabano, so I'm a fan before we do what or the big cat. Together we fight, together we can make it, and the one of my temple only you believe it. Together we fight, together we can make it, and the one of my temple only you believe it. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Ebola got us thinking that we can't survive, but with God on our side we shall overcome cause we already won. Lift your head up high, boys and girls will cry. No need for sorrow, there's still tomorrow. Even though we're fighting Ebola, yeah, but we might not lose our hopes, no. See, no matter how high the wall is, somebody now stand on top of that wall we go. In a time of fear, let's get this real. Just hold my hands, we can face the future. Many people die, but better days to come. We can overcome, yeah, we can overcome. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our grounds. Lord, listen to us now. Yeah, everybody hear the sound. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose the ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear the sound. Let everybody say, it's they come, we fight at the end, we conquer. When heart times come, our faith grows stronger. People take heart, all is not lost. No matter the case, even viruses or wars. A bunch of Davids surrounded by Goliaths. Far from tears, we have no borders. Stay positive, my message should be used to provide, and that's you and me. We are one people, let's come together. Together the stronger we stay alive. That you and me and you together, that's one. That you and me and you together, that's one. Profata kaguhama, imai honga ipari. Nakoya bename, gofani kama ipola. Kapuka yeye. Kaguhama. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear the sound. Everybody Big me, Lord, our nation weeping. Can't you see our people are dying? Do you think about one good reason? Hope there's something to believe in. We hope we can fight this. Believe we gonna watch this. Believe one day we're gonna celebrate. Never ever lose our motherland. Clean hearts, clean hands. It's what we need to save this land. Let's take precautions, save this nation. It's time to take us there, yeah. Sanitization is what we need, cleaning everything around us, just like you see. Once we stick to the rules and don't break through, it's gonna be a better place for you and I. So have hope. You my little friend, the Pumo, Bani, that's so, Kakeko, Ebola Day, Anikon, that's a new one, the walk, that's a new one is so, I said, Bill, when I had to, I said, Bill, yeah, Lord, listen to us now, help us that we may never lose our grounds. Lord, listen to us now, hear it, everybody hear the sound. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear us out. Let everybody say.
Fellow Liberians, this is Dr. Kimmy Weeks. We must unite against this common enemy. This is our time, a moment in our history when we must stand together.
Lord, can you listen to us now? Can the whole world hear us crying now? It's one good deal. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our grounds. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear the sound. What is it now? What do you got now? What is it? Hey. What do you got now? What is it now? Let's go. What is it now? Yo, get the one of the Javano, get the Tabino, say a wing with the Falano, do one of the Badetamono, the market in the book with the door where the Falano, what will my Jama be the friend of the Lamasina Kid, what I said, don't know my prayer now. You will let the Javano, so I'm afraid before we do what or the gay. Together we fight, together we can make it, and the one of my temple, only you believe there. Together we fight, together we can make it, and the one of my temple, only you believe there.
Good morning, if you're just joining us. Welcome to Diaspora Talk. We're here to discuss issues, sensitive issues concerning our country, Liberia. So if you're just joining us, please share the broadcast. Yeah, right after this song, there's a Ebola song. We will definitely start our broadcast. So now, trust me, it's going to be somehow fascinating. And we will also have our guests on here. Yeah, Christiana, Joy Doe.
Oh, we might not lose our hopes. See, no matter how high the wall is, somebody not stand on top of that wall. We go. In a time of fear, let's get this real. Just hold my hands. We can face the future. Many people die, but better days to come. We can overcome. Yeah, we can overcome. Lord, listen to us now. Help us.
Yeah, tonight, trust me, it's not just a known night before the Diaspora Talk.
Listen to us now. Yeah. Everybody hear the sound. Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose the ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear us out. Let everybody say. It's
Okay, good morning. And there's just an intro to the Diaspora Talk. If you just joining us, welcome to the Diaspora Talk, my people. Yeah, tonight is the 25th day in the month of September 2022.
We are one people. Let's come together.
Definitely, we are one people.
Stronger.
How can we come together with one love to push our country forward? When we have government officials around the world trying to tarnish the reputation of our people back home, our country at large, please share the broadcast, my people. Yeah, tonight, like I said, it's not a normal night for the Diaspora Talk because we in solidarity with the victims.
Listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us. Let everybody hear the sound. Everybody
Yeah, please share the broadcast. If you just joining us, my people, that's the best you can do for us. You can follow Diaspora Talk on YouTube, on Asia Premium platform, and also the Diaspora Talk. We are here to discuss issues affecting our country, Liberia.
something to believe in. We can fight this. Believe we gonna watch this. Believe one day we're gonna celebrate. Never ever lose our motherland. Clean hearts, clean hands. It's what we need to save this land. Let's take precautions, save this nation. It's time to take us there. Yeah. Sanitization is what we need. Cleaning everything around us, just like you see. Once we stick to the rules and don't break through, it's gonna be a better place for you and I. So have hope.
Coronavirus is here around the corner. Yeah, stay safe, my people. Wash your hand every time. Make sure you wear your mask. Coronavirus is here around. It's not yet gone, huh? Yeah, good morning, my people. Timas, are you guys hearing me clearly, gentlemen? You guys can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, good morning there from the US of A. And if you're here in South Korea, I want to say good afternoon, good evening. If you're there in Liberia, I want to say good afternoon because it's in the afternoon there in Liberia. It's 12 p.m. in Liberia. And I guess it's 7 a.m. there in the state of Iowa. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Tonight we're discussing sensitive issues. This first thing we have on our list here tonight to talk about is about the two government officials that work with the Liberian Maritime. I mean, have a serious case here in Korea. It is all on the Korean media. That's the KBS and also the Korean Time. These guys have been allegedly accused of sexual assault. So we'll be looking into the story and then we'll be discussing about it. And also we have our sister Christiana Joado. She's a senior pastor for Harvest International Fellowship branch in Korea, and she also an author of a book called Isn't Faith Crazy? She will be joining us very shortly as we will discuss these issues tonight. So welcome, gentlemen, Alfred Konowa and T-Max. Welcome to the show, T-Max. How's the morning over there, brother?
Good morning, Lincoln.
Good morning, Gio.
Yeah, gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have this wonderful discussion tonight, and trust me, it's going to be somehow fascinating because we're going to speak truth of power. We are not going to sugarcoat anything on here. We're not going to make something look so beautiful. We definitely going to talk about it. We should be discussing the issue of the president's speech, but I think we will discuss it in subsequent time. That's in our second topic, because the issue of the rape is a very sensitive one and we should discuss it. So, gentlemen, you guys just give me 1 minute. Let me just play this video, this horrible video, gentlemen. I beg of you guys, let me play this video for our audience. Then after the video, we will definitely, start the conversation. The video is very terrible, very terrible. Government officials refused to open their door to police officers of South Korea that identify themselves as police and asking them to open the door because they had teenagers there with them in their hotel room. It is a very sad story, and we have to condemn it to the fullest, and also we have to make our own official statement, as a people of Liberia, because the issue of rape is something we totally against, and we will not support any act or any form of rape. So let me just play the video shortly for. Okay, let me see if I can get to it quickly, gentlemen. Just a minute. Wow, this thing is giving me crazy hard time. Okay, I think I get it on here. Good. Very good. Gentlemen, no sound or what?
No sound.
Okay, hold
안에서
on.
객실 문을 잠가 열리지 않는 상황. 비상 열쇠를 꽂아보고 발로 힘껏 차보기도 하지만 꿈쩍도 하지 않습니다.
Police, police! Open the door! Police!
외국인이 한국인 여성들을 감금해 폭행하고 있다는 신고가 접수돼 경찰이 출동한 건 어젯밤 11시쯤입니다.
전화해가지고 지금 상황 위험하니까 좀 빨리 좀 와주세요 하고 이제 기다리다가 또 안
Can you guys
오니까
see the video, gentlemen?
여자들이 울고 있고
I think it's going down.
구조대를 부른 뒤에도
Okay, let me
대치는
just,
한동안 이어졌습니다.
This is the front desk staff, so open the door. Why coming to your front door?
경찰의 설득 끝에 객실 안에서 나온 사람들은 라이베리아 국적의 남성 2명이었습니다. 함께 있던 한국인 10대 여학생 2명은 길에서 만난 이들을 따라갔다가
So, okay now?
성폭행을 당했다고 경찰에
Yeah.
진술했습니다. 경찰의 확인 결과 이 남성들은
Sorry,
우리
that's the
정부
internet
등이
delay, that's why.
개발도상 국가를 위해 마련한 교육을 받으러 온 라이베리아 외교부 직원과 국제해사기구 소속 직원이었습니다.
부산의 한 국제 행사에 참가한 외국인들이 10대 여학생을 성폭행한 혐의로 붙잡혔습니다. 라이베리아 외교부와 국제기구의 직원입니다. 신고를 받고 출동한 경찰과 대치하다 체포에 저항하기도 했습니다. 정민규 기자가 보도합니다.
늦은 밤 부산의 한 호텔 복도, 경찰들이 객실 앞을 막아섰고 안에서는 여성들의 비명 소리가 들립니다. 안에서 객실 문을 잠가 열리지 않는 상황. 비상 열쇠를 꽂아보고 발로 힘껏 차보기도 하지만 꿈쩍도 하지 않습니다.
Police, police! Open the door! Police!
외국인이 한국인 여성들을 감금해 폭행하고 있다는 신고가 접수돼 경찰이 출동한 건 어젯밤 11시쯤입니다.
전화해가지고 지금 상황 위험하니까 좀 빨리 좀 와주세요 하고 이제 기다리다가 또 여자들이 울고 있고
문을 열기 위해 구조대를 대치는 한동안 이어졌습니다.
This is the front desk. Open the door. Why coming to your front door?
경찰의 설득 끝에 객실 안에서 나온 사람들은 라이베리아 국적의 남성 2명이었습니다. 함께 있던 한국인 10대 여학생 2명은 길에서 만난 이들을 따라갔다가 성폭행을 당했다고 경찰에 진술했습니다. 경찰의 확인 결과 이 남성들은 우리 정부 등이 개발도상 국가를 위해 마련한 교육을 받으러 온 라이베리아 외교부와 국제해사기구 소속이었습니다. 이들은 입국할 때 외교 여권을 사용한 것으로 전해졌지만 국내 외교관이 아닌 만큼 형사정책 특권 대상은 아닙니다. 경찰은 경위를 조사하고 있습니다. KBS 뉴스 정민규입니다.
Okay, with already there, I think we don't have the glitching. So just a minute, gentlemen. Let me see what I can set the thing, because, like I said, the internet keep glitching. And I have
부산의 한 국제 행사에 참가한 외국인들이 10대 여학생을 성폭행한 혐의로 붙잡혔습니다. 라이베리아 외교기구의 직원입니다.
okay. I think we're good to go. Gentlemen, are you guys there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Sorry there for the little break in. And I'm having some little technical problem with the network here, but we're good to go. Okay, so that was just a short video that I decided to play just so we can get to understand the nature of the case. But before we go forward, there are a few things I want to read on here because I don't just want to say it from my mouth. Let me be able to read out, what is on the media. So just a minute, let me just go to the first news that's on the Korean Time. The Korean Time, you can access it on the internet, and where it says about the government officials that came to a maritime conference. So the two Liberian officials apprehended on suspicion of sexually assaulting two teenagers. Okay, that's just the that's just the headline of the news. So let me just read it out. You can find it on the Korean. It's called the Korean Times. You can find this on the internet. You can be able to search it out and check it out for yourself. So there is a story. It says what? Two Liberian men visiting the southern port city of Busan. Busan is the second capital in South Korea. It happens to be the commercial capital. That's the second capital of Korea. It's called Busan. Two Liberian men visiting the southern port city of Busan to attend an international event were put on an emergency arrest by local police Friday on suspicion of sexually assaulting two South Korean middle school girls. Two South Korean middle school girls. We in the Western world, we understand when they say middle school what it is, bro. It's not university. Then they go on to say the Busan Dongbu police station said it is investigating the two men, both known as Saver 7 of the West African country, over their alleged sexual offense. They are suspected of sexually assaulting the two teenagers girls at a hotel in the city, Dongwon, around 10:55 p.m. That's on Friday. Thursday, they allegedly took the two girls they met by chance near Busan Station to their hotel. They reportedly came to Busan to participate in the 2022 Korean Maritime Week, an event jointly organized by South Korean Ministry of Ocean and Fishery and the International Maritime Organization, that's the IMO. One of the two men is said to be a 30-something, he should be in his 30s. Liberian government official departed to the IMO headquarters in Britain. He reportedly holds a diplomatic passport and claims diplomatic immunity, but police say his case cannot be covered by the Vienna Convention that stipulates diplomatic immunity. This happens to be the guy called Moses Owen Brown. He's a diplomat that works in Europe, came on the conference. So what I just read is from the Korean Times. That was the first news that we got about the rape issue, about the alleged rape issues, with the two government officials, that came on a program in Korea, but by chance met two Korean girls and took them to the hotel. And those girls are teenagers, but in the middle school. So welcome to the show, Madam Chris Dorr. Welcome. Good to have you on here tonight. Madam Chris, are you hearing me? Or are you muted? Hello? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think you're good to go. You're good to go. You're good to go. My man,
Okay,
Augusta,
okay.
you guys will not distract us yet because some of you guys are the problem for Liberia today. Augusta Flomo. You will not distract me on here. I'm taking my time to read because I got a very big light in my face. Yeah, so I gotta take my time. Do not distract me on here. You guys are the serious problem there in Liberia. On social media, making crazy noise. So don't gonna tell me something, reading something important here for the audience to listen to, and you talking nonsense, my brother. I will not dignify you anymore. My sister, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on here. We're discussing tonight
Yes, thank you.
their less rape issues, and I was just trying to read a report here from the Korean Times. That the Korean
Yes.
Times is one of is the premium electronic media here in Korea. Everything that happens in the country, you go on their website, you'll be able to find it easily. There's the news that we also how denigrating it is, and we are Liberians who live in this country. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. McKay. Thank you to everyone, all of the hosts and presenters there. It's an honor to be on this platform. Yes, I'm very interested in the topic on the discussion. Yes, because like the first, like he just read, I think that should be the main topic now. But about way of introduction, I'm Pastor Christina, senior pastor at Harvest Intercontinental Church, South Korea. I'm also a published author of the book "Isn't Faith Crazy?" Thank you for that. It was kind of surprise when you put up my book. Yes, you put up my book on the page as guest speaker. Thank you so much. I didn't have to pay for that promotion, so I'm really grateful. I know. Thank you so much. And I'm also the CEO of Africo One Stop and Shop. That's the first African mart in South Korea. Registered. Yes, and we got 1 year.
Advertisement now, so no problem.
I gotta take advantage. You got to seek opportunity, and I love to take chances. Any opportunity I find, I'm gonna get it. So yes, I'm doing my promotion right away. This is VIP, you know. You know what it means to be on the show by the CEO. They invite you. You even ask yourself for anything. So I gotta make very good use of it. All right. So anyway, my book is on Amazon. You can find it by just putting the author's name, Christina Jill Doe, and it's rich. It's a very rich book. I hope you can get your copy. We have ebook and hard copy as well. Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, thank you. So, gentlemen, T-Max and that of Alfred, I just want to read out this statement, very strong statement from a female activist from Liberia about this identical guy in question that is within their last rape case. Let me just read this out. I want to believe that most Liberians know this lady. She's called Nensua Bien Livingstone. That's why she wrote just a day ago after she realized that this same guy that she also had a case with have been apprehended by police in Korea. Let me just read it. I'm not going to take longer time, but that's what she said. She said, and there is a song that said, you may run on for a long time, but God's spirit going to put you down. She said, we ran after an alleged rape case involving the same Moses Owen Brown as the accused perpetrator and the little girl who used to live with him and his wife. While running about seeking justice for the survivor, Moses Owen and his wife moved out of their Effie residence. When we look, he was given a job by the Liberian government out of this country. leaving a kiss hanging. Monkey can leave a black hand behind. So the lady is saying that this identical guy had an affair, allegedly had an affair with the girl that was staying with he and the wife. And when they went after the kiss, what the government did, they gave him a job that he had to leave the country. I'm not going to read all of the notes, but some of you that know this, the name that I just called, go on her page and you're going to read. This lady is an activist. She's a feminist. Go on her page. That's what she said. So this guy in question, it's like he did the same thing before with a girl who was staying with he and his wife. Allegedly had an affair with her. And when the kids came to the public, she were running after the kids. What happened? The government gave him job and had to leave the country. He left Liberia, and she's saying now that, monkey can leave a blind behind. He did it before, and now he did it again in another country. And Korea is a country of law. So not to take all of the time, because I got many notes to read on here tonight based upon these issues. But we're going to hear from you guys. Firstly, before we come to you, our guest, Christina, let's go to you, T-Max. T-Max, how do you feel, my brother, about hearing this kind of a news?
Thank you, CEO. It is a very complicated situation. Like, we understand it's alleged. He has not gone through the due process yet. So it's an ongoing case. So it's something, because there's a lot of questions that needs to be asked. I know rape is not something any of us condone or support, but it's also a situation that has to be investigated, right? Some of the questions, you will want to know, if you watch that video, they actually show a hotel where these guys were lodging. So my question would be, how did those girls end up in their hotel room, right? I'm very much sure these girls were not picked up and carried in our room forcefully by those guys. So maybe there was some consent and something did not go well that turned out to be another situation. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just also alleging, because the building they were showing, the room they were showing, it was so many stories up there. So the fact that that stuff happened in the room, whatever happened there, needs to be investigated. How those girls got over there also needs to be investigated, because you and I know the issue of rape is a very serious case. Like you said, there are some people who know this Moses, this character, and if it is something that he does or he did, the law there will definitely bring him to book. But it's also, I don't want to take a complete side to say, it did happen, because there are a lot of times when you have a situation with some of these females and things don't go their way, they have the habit of calling police and saying something else. So it's a very sensitive situation that it is under investigation. So I would not like to speculate that the brother is wrong or he did this or he didn't do it, but there's a lot of questions that needs to be asked there, and a lot of answers needs to be given. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from you, Alfred. What's your take on hearing such story about government officials, diplomat officials, that came for conference and got involved with teenagers that are in middle school? And let me just make this clarification, right? This guy in question, one is 50 years old, and the second one is in his 30s. So he might be 35 or he might be 38 and XYZ. But those girls are teenagers, girls who have not reached 20 in their teen, and they are in middle school, not even university, middle school. So right after you respond, I'm going to read this note from Anthony there in Liberia, Ambassador Ruben Newville, former representative of District 8. He said something very strong about what happened. I'm going to read this out before our sister can make a point. So go ahead, Alfred.
Thank you so much, CEO, for giving me the opportunity. First of all, we have to lay the basis as to the law, right? My brother talk about consent. You know, the law is very clear. Liberian law is very clear. Any woman, any girl child that is under the age of 18, even if she agrees for you to do something, it's still considered a crime because she has not reached the age of maturity. I don't know the Korean law, whether the Korean law have that same type of law in their laws that talk about, you know, the variety of ages, especially when it comes to the issue of sexual consent, you know. So for me, I've been following the story. The story is very complicated, and even if for any reason those girls consented, we want to know their ages, because as you read the report over there, they never talk about their ages, right? And if they say that in middle school, I would guess that maybe those girls are maybe 15, 16, 17, or maybe looking at the Western world, those children can be between the ages in middle school, they can be between the ages of 15 to 16 years, right? So if those girls fall under that category of age, right, then the law must take its course, right? Now, on the issue of whether or not these guys were allegedly, you know, carrying out that act is something that we need to investigate more, right? What those kids were doing in the street at that time. How did they get in contact with them? We need to know all of that. Until we can make our own conclusion as to whether or not they are wrong or right. But I will come from the perspective of the law. If the girls were underage and our brothers were very reckless and they consider that and decide to take them with them into the hotel, I think it's a shame. It's a shame on their part because they are diplomats. They are not only representing themselves, they are representing 5 million people. 5 million people. So if you go out there as a representative of your country, you have to make sure you take into consideration all variables. You know, you can't be carried away by your emotion. You cannot be carried away by your emotion. You are representing a group of people. So anything you do, whether you did it or you did not do it, it has a repercussion on your country. Now you are just saying after you read that particular Korean time, you made a statement. You said the alleged assault on these guys, Liberians are living in Korea. Sure. And it print a bad picture for people that CEO on the settlement when he goes out in his community and he hear that Liberians were caught by police allegedly assaulting middle school girls. You know, it paint a very bad picture. So as the story developed, I will urge all of us to continue to follow it to a logical conclusion. But for now, I think it's a shame for to be hearing that from our diplomats.
Okay, thank you there, Alfred. Let me just read out this comment from Ambassador Rufo Nuville, former representative of District 8 in Liberia, Moserado County. He said rape allegations against maritime employees. Statutory rape is defined as the unlawful sexual intercourse with a person under the age of consent, as defined by statute, regardless of whether it is against that person's will. Black Laws Dictionary, 11th edition. The age of consent is the legal age a person must reach before agreeing to have sex. The law does not recognize any agreement between children and older people to have sex. The older person will be held for rape, even if the sexual act was voluntarily and resulted in no physical harm. Like just what you were saying, Alfred, the person might agree, but it is unlawful. There is an Anthony making a statement. And then he go on to say, in Liberia, the age of consent is 18 years old. Some states in America set the age at 16 years older. Other countries set the age as low as 14 years old. Statutory rape is the legal umbrella to protect children, especially girls. It varies from country to country, and consent by the girls is not a defense. The question now is, what is the age of consent in South Korea? According to South Korea Criminal Act, Article 305, the age of consent is 20 years old, and the girls are teenagers. They don't reach the age 18. I mean, they don't reach the age 20. They are teenagers. And Korean law, like Liberia, say 18 years old. That's the age of consent. Korean law say what? 20 years old. There is a renowned Anthony from Liberia making this statement publicly. He go on to say, this is my what? Saturday lecture on the what? Okay, I'll stop right. That just it. We start right for now. Korea age of consent for girls. They should be 20 years above. Liberia is 18. Other states in America is 16 or 14 years. So whether they agree or not, when they are under that age, it is a crime. How can a 50 years old man go out with a girl that is capable of becoming his daughter? And the guy also, Owen Brown, who is in his 30s. You know, I don't want to go far. I don't want to be so emotional on this topic tonight. Let me give our sister the time. But I was just trying to read this out to just, enlighten our minds so we can understand, how people are responding to this, from Liberia. There is Ambassador Novia, former representative of District 18 Liberia. He's an
before Christina comes, can I just take a minute?
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, T-Max.
Yeah, so my brother Konoa there, he struck a very important point, when it comes to the age of consent, right?
Yeah.
We now understand the South Korea law in terms of what age it is. If the brother there is right, if it is 20.
He's an Anthony, brother. He's right. He's right.
Yeah, but he don't live in South Korea. He probably
but he's serious about it, brother. I mean, you can access all of these things on the internet, T-Max.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not forefront of research. So that's what I'm saying. If he is, I'm not going to squarely say he's right. So but the fact is, the age of consent, if it is 20, then our brothers are in a huge jeopardy because that's the law. And I know Asia, the continent Asia, they don't play when it comes to the law. So I think it's a serious situation for them. And because my concern there was they were only broadcasting what happened, but they were not announcing the age of the girls.
No, but it said teenagers, so that from 19 downward.
Right. So then I was in the doubt of, okay, a 19-year-old could be considered a teenager because she's staying in the teen, right? Or 18-year-old. So, and every country is different, like you said. Some countries is 18, some is less than 18. So now you can't just squarely say, hey, it's a rape. So now, if it is true that their age of consent is 20, then we have a problem here. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, T-Max. Let's hear from you, Madam Christiana. This happened here right in our own home. President Weah said America is a home. Korea is our home. Where we live is our home. So, I mean,
definitely.
Say what happened in your home.
Yeah, definitely. This is my home. Korea is my second home. I would say first home in a sense because I've been living here for the past 15 years. And I will say that, yes, it is disheartening, it's disappointing, and it angers me that, and I believe a lot of us, living in Korea, especially being a mother, being a woman, it angers me that I would not condemn them right now, but I will, because there is an alleged case, and I have been following with the reliable sources. We are talking to them from there, so I know the story from their side, and it is just sad. And I would just look at it to be immoral conduct, discipline. Our culture, our society has condoned those things, And I would say charity begins at home and ends abroad. This is abroad in a nutshell. What you start home, you will bring it outside. There are a lot of activists in Liberia, and I would love to say sometimes I'm sorry if I would offend somebody. I would just call them so-called activists, because when we talk about activism in Korea, is number one. They don't joke with it. An activist is a fear force to government. Nobody, in fact, the government of Korea, they respect activists. But in Liberia, these things are going on like normal, and our activists don't say any. They say, but they don't mean it, because they will be the same people that breaks the law. So, however, with this case, for me, I feel that they are in big hot water. And when you say middle schooler, my daughter is just 1 year away from middle school. She just graduated from middle school. So, for a middle schooler in Korea, they say middle school, that's 13, 14, 15 when you're in the middle school. So imagine those ages. And there are bad kids. Let me just tell you. In Korea, the society is not with all bad, undisciplined kids. Okay. So there are a lot of rebellious teenagers in Korea. I'm growing and taking care of teenagers. So I know, and I've taught in Korean schools for the past 13 years. I know what the kids are capable of doing. So I don't want to say whether, because I heard from home people are saying it's a setup. But I would say you will not be set up if you have moral control or moral conduct. If you are a good role model, and our fathers and our men need to be good role models for our boys, which of course they have not been. Now, if you come to a conference that is so important as the nature of that conference was, the first thing that was the last day of the conference, as I learned, and they should be going back excited with the new knowledge they have, going to the hotel room instead of hunting women. All right. So now the story I got firsthand is that they were talked to by those girls as helpers. Okay, they saw them being raped, like somebody trying to rape them off a price, and they walked to them and asked them, "Can we help you? We can speak English. We can help you." All right, that's how it started. But I will go detail before the show end. But anyway, my view on this is that it is just lack of moral conduct in our society. Whether man or woman, we should behave. You carrying a title, you carrying responsibility, even if you're ordinary citizen. Why do we have those why we don't have discipline? Why will you travel outside and you are only concerned about having an affair with some stranger? That's a total stranger. In fact, you could be mobbed, you could be killed, right? So and another thing is that these people, if our official, most of the time, this is a problem we have here. Most of the time they come here, they do not connect with the Liberian community here. But when things go wrong, they want us to stand for them and be behind them. And this time around, I'm telling you, I'm going to be the biggest noise maker of this issue, because we had a meeting yesterday, and we have a plan. We are going to come up with our statement as a community, and this is our home too. This is our home, and we will not allow anyone to cause us problem. And then maybe they get punished, after 3 years, because the jail term is 3 years. If you are in jail for 3 years and after you leave, we still have problems. Some of us have future here. Okay, our brothers, they will not be free to move up and down. They'll call them rapists and all of those things. Korea is a big country, it's a good country, but we go through a lot of things. Every society got their bad and good. So stereotyping and discrimination is on the rise. And we cannot sit down as community to, continue to condone all those bad news. We already had a fragile image in Korea, which of course we will talk about more in detail sometime, because our government have not really been listening to us. They don't pay attention to things that are happening in South Korea.
Yes. Let me hold you right at 1 minute, because I want it to be very much interactive, Madam Christiana.
Right.
Thank you for all of these points you're making and things. But firstly, on behalf of the talk, I want to take this time to condemn every act of sexual harassment and rape. What I elect to be proven. I want to take this time to condemn it. The Diaspora talk, we condemn every form or every act of such attitude, because we from Liberia, we were never brought up with such I mean, we're never brought, in such mood, to rip women's or girls on our ages, to hang around them. We always hang around our peers, people that are just 1 year or 2 years different between us. That's how we were raised. So Liberians are very good people, but trust me, there are bad apples among the good apples. And just to continue, it was yesterday. Imagine in my community while walking, a Korean man that live in my community, know me to be a Liberian. He called me and he started to ask me, did you see the news? Did you watch the news? Did you see what happened? And I was very, frank going, I said, oh, yes, I'm aware. But, in every country, there are bad people and there are good people. Even in South Korea where we live, there are bad people that are in prison right now for their bad deeds. And there are more good Koreans also. We understand the Korean culture. We know Koreans are nice people. We know how very good this system is. This is our country. This is our home. That's what I told him. And after, we had some short conversation, he said, yeah, you are right. That's true. There are good people, they are bad people. I said, but those guys are bad guys. And we are not going to support them. We condemn every act. So my question here to us all on the platform. Let's look at let's just go to the age of let's just look at the Daniel Tar man, Daniel Tar, because there are two. It's Moses Owen Brown and Daniel Tar. Daniel Tar is 50 years of age. So let me start with you, T-Max. Look at this 50 years of age, man. And similar thing that the guys do back home with our little sister, our little girls, and what are you chasing them here, there, and because they had government job, they had position in government, they can earn little money and thinking whatever, they take advantage of all the girls back home and whatever. That's what they want to do abroad. T-Max, look at a man who is 50 years old, beyond a girl that he can bone, that his age is 3 times her age. Because the girls are teenagers. So they might be 18, 17, 16, 14, or XYZ. But just go to Daniel Tar issue. Look at 50 years old man, my brother. How do you look at that aspect? Daniel Tar, 50 years old, trying to have an affair. Because according to the Korean Times, it said this guy, met these girls by chance at the train station, at the Busan station. So it was either the bus station or the train station, because it mentioned station within a report. There where they met these girls by chance and took them to their hotel. A 50 years old grown man. T-Max, I know, my brother, you are a very responsible man. That's what I'm asking you this question. Everyone was on the platform, we are well responsible. But let's just look at the age, look at the age range, T-Max. A 50 years old man and a teenager.
See, let me be very frank here, right? I want to deviate from the discussion right now and go back home to Liberia.
Okay, go ahead.
You and I, we grew up in a society where we have some of our people who we refer to as fathers in Liberia, which is, I would say, a very common, and they make it like a norm in our society, right? Where you can sleep with little girls, whether you're a government official. I went to school, I graduated from high school with a girl. After the Civil War.
No, but T-Max, then I'll hold you 1 minute, T-Max. The thing is this, my brother. It is often said that a screener that asks questions never miss a role. When you go to a room, you have to act like a Roman. So now we're not talking about, Liberia. Let's just get Liberia out of the hope. No. Let us get Liberia out of it, T-Max. Right now, you have been living in the Western world for a long time, my brother. So you cannot compare the levy high in Liberia with the levy having right now in the USA, T-Max.
No, it's
not comparable.
I'm trying to lay the premise. I'm not trying to look at my life now. I'm trying to tell you the reason these things happen. And the reason you have a 50-year-old man feel that it's okay to go in another country and sleep with a teenager. This is the premise I'm laying. So I hope you give me the chance to go back there before I can come back to the discussion.
Make your point.
Right. So you and I grew up in a society where it is okay for a 90-year-old man to sleep with a 10-year-old girl. And even if that little girl got sick. I knew of kids that so many little kids die in Liberia from that stuff. And where they in? Family meeting. They were never taken to prison. They were never taken to court. Nothing. It ended up with a family discussion. And some of those things were even hidden, where they didn't even want people to know. Like right next to me, I saw that stuff happen. A little girl died because this guy was going out with this girl's mother and was sleeping with this baby. That's not, I won't even say a teenager, but a baby. And that little girl was completely rotting from the inside. Before the family could really recognize it, the little girl died. That stuff never went to police, never went to the station. They sat down as family, discovered that stuff. It was only in rumors that we heard it. And that dude was walking scot-free. So I say this to say, in as much as our society have a lot of good people, but we also have a lot of men. Like I was just saying, I graduated with a girl who grew up in a home. Like these family, they took a lot of kids. They were taken care of after the war. But the guy who was the father in our home, all of the females in the little girl, these are babies that were growing up. He decided to sleep with them. The reason I get ran from that place, she never had parents, she never had nobody, but she had to leave, was because she personally told me she refused to sleep with that man, or older man. This is somebody in the 50s, 60s. She refused. So because she refused, she ran away from that yard. So, I mean, I don't want us to sit here and pretend like we all don't know that these things happen back home. In as much as we have decent men.
No, T-Max. Let me just make you understand one thing, right? Back home in Liberia, back home in Liberia, T-Max, it is unlawful.
Granted. But
yes,
I'm telling you,
unlawful. So the problem here that we should be talking about, you see, Korea is one of the countries that I consider in the world to be a country that's very strict when it comes out of the law. Liberia, we have all of the laws on book, but we have our government are very corrupt, and they refuse to implement those laws.
But
we have all of the laws on book.
No,
it is not our culture.
Our sister Christina.
It is not by law that these things happen that you explain.
No, I'm not saying it is a law. Our sister Christina was just saying, when you talk about advocates in the Western world and advocates in Liberia, it's not the same. Those things go nowhere. They don't respect them. The government don't even listen to them. It don't matter how grievous that case is grievous. They don't even listen. So my point is, these things happen in our country. It goes nowhere. I bet you, if those two guys if that thing was going to happen in Liberia, they're walking scot-free. You and I know that. Nobody going to ask them questions. They're not going to go nowhere. Police will not even come to them. It will go scot-free. So this is the premise that I'm laying. So because they're so used to doing those things and getting away, they feel it happens anywhere. And my point is, we shouldn't sit here and that's one of the reasons I feel like we need to talk about these things continuously so that our people can understand that what we do back home and take it normal, it's not acceptable around the world. It's not. And that's the point I was making. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, thank you, Thimas. Let's hear from you quickly, Alfred, and we'll go to Christina.
Yes, for me, I will pick up from the point where Christina made. I feel angry in my spirit because I have a daughter. I wouldn't want to even hear.
You guys have to increase your volume. I don't know if it's on me or.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm hearing, but just be a little.
So, like I was saying, I will pick up from Christina's point where she talked about the lack of discipline that we see in our society. It angers me in my spirit, because I have a daughter. I wouldn't want to hear that somebody try to mess around my daughter. I wouldn't want to hear it as a responsible man. I wouldn't want to hear that, right? But this has been a problem in our country. The lack of the implementation of our laws. People go scot-free. I can remember 2016. Was it 2016? Yeah. 2016, a lawmaker was allegedly accused of impregnating a 16-year-old girl. That thing became a big news. The only thing we heard was that the girl was taken to Ghana, and that case went on the carpet. And I think this is a very serious issue that we need to take very seriously as a country. it's becoming a serious problem for our country. Even this government, even the Joshua government, I have not seen or heard a particular case being really, really adjudicated and somebody is being punished for the issue of rape. What we see in our country, if you go back to Liberia, you look at the judicial system, you find more people in jail for alleged rape than going through the due process. Go look at our prison cells. You find more people in jail for alleged rape, but most of the cases are not being adjudicated. You just have people languishing beyond bars, and we have not found the perpetrators for these cases.
And
that is the
bro,
problem.
just to buttress you, right? Those people you find in jail are not government officials. Those
They
are
not government officials.
no,
They are not.
They are not. You never see none of them.
They are not part of the elites. They are not part of the so-called, how we call them, bishops in Liberia. But you have bishops in Liberia who are involved in these things, and they go scot-free because the lack of implementation. Another thing that we also see in our country is that the issue of compromise. The issue of compromise is a very serious issue. Somebody will go and commit a crime, but then because that person is maybe connected to the family, that bringing bread, is a breadwinner to the family, some way, somehow, they try to compromise it. Because poverty is another issue. People are so poor in our country to the extent now, for example, African working to LPRC, and he loving to quote unquote a 16-year-old girl from the family, because African can bring one person every month. The girl going to school, the rent is paid, so it's not an issue. People try to compromise that, and that is the problem. If we should be serious about the issue of rape, the law must be the law. People should be punished for it. People should be punished for it, because people are not being punished for it in our country. It becomes a norm. People see it to be something that's good, so anybody can do it and go scot-free. And this is what we see in this case. I see my brother Lincoln is being somehow emotional about it. You gotta be emotional about it too. That's say it all the way we want to say it, but you gotta be emotional about it. It's destroying somebody else's life. The issue about rape is destroying somebody else's life, especially so when you are so much mature than the person that you are dealing with. We should not also forget that the issue of consent about sex is not always about whether the person is under age. You can be of the age, but once you not consent to it, it's rape. So on the issue that we are talking about here, the South Korea law says 20 years old. It is the highest among community of nations in the world. You gotta be 20 years old before you can be considered a mature person in South Korea. And my only worry here is this, gentlemen and lady. South Korea is not known around the world to be a very high-profile human rights country. It's not known. So I think this case, the government of South Korea will take it very seriously to kind of call off for their human rights.
A point of correction. Korea is a country that recognizes human rights. My brother, this country, people don't fight in the country. You don't easily see discrimination in this country. I'm a witness to that. I live in this country for years, and this is my home. I'm telling you, Korea is one of the countries that I can boast of in the world that's very peaceful. Korea is one of the countries I can boast of in the world that they are lovely people, they are friendly people, and their system is very strict.
CEO, I'm speaking from our 2014 human rights report from the UN. That's
you
that's
said
that's
2014
but we 2014 human rights report on Korea from the UN.
How many years now? How many years have passed in 2014, my brother?
That's what I'm saying.
2014, someone not in Korea. So I'm talking about since I came here up to present. We in 2022, my brother. So you're talking about almost a decade.
Yeah, so
so 8 years ago. So I'm telling you right now that Korea is one of the countries that respect human dignity. Yeah, so with that aspect, I just want to debunk it so that you can understand that Korea have, every country, try to excel to the best. If you listen to
that's what I was saying. I was not condemning. I was not condemning.
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please.
Let me talk.
I'll come in your lane. Just what you say, I just want to make this comment. One of the major statements that was made by the Korean president to the United Nations General Assembly recent, he's talked about freedom. People should have freedom all around the world. That was his major statement he made within his speech. He talked about freedom, that people should have freedom everywhere in the world. So with the statement he made, I'm just trying to rectify that, and that was what he said. It's all on the Korean news. That was a statement from the Korean president, the new president they have. He said every citizen, everybody should have freedom to go anywhere they want to go, and there should be no discrimination. Because we talk about freedom, also talk about discrimination, because Asian people too are also discriminated in Europe, in America, and XYZ. So he talked about freedom. African also likewise. So he talked about freedom for people, to have access everywhere they want to go in the world. So go ahead, my brother.
So like I was saying, again, I have not known South Korea to be a prolific human rights, country, so to speak, as per the UN report 2014. But I know the country can improve, and that's why everybody wants to see, the improvement of the society, that people can move freely. And that's something good from your angle. I think that's something good, because if you as a foreigner, you can say that and say that things are well. I really applaud that. But again, my worry is that the guy should not be discriminated against. A due process should take place. And if the allegation comes out to be false, we are hoping that the South Korean government will come out again to clear the air so that the guys can live their normal lives. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go to you, Madam Christiana. I was talking about the fellow who is 50 years old. We may not take a longer time tonight. We may not even dive into our second topic, because the issue of the alleged rape, I think, is the major happening right now around the world, most especially in Korea where we live. So imagine if you go to the YouTube channel of that Korean media, the KBS News, about 1 million people have viewed that video just in one day. So to tell you, yeah, just one day, 1 million people have viewed that. So let's hear from you. 50 years old man having an affair with a teenager. Do you think that's normal?
Okay, well, it is not normal, and it is not morally correct. But I feel that people have how do I call it? They are to be reliable for their actions. So it don't really, matter the age. Like a man that knows he's mature and he's decent, he has a family, he travels outside the country. This is not their first time traveling outside Liberia. Okay, Mr. Tier, that is 50. I don't know whether I'm getting his name right,
Yeah,
but he has traveled.
Daniel Ta.
Yeah, Ty, right? Yeah, he's been traveling. Okay, so he knows, he has the experience, and I do not think that is his age that makes it look ugly. It is just the action. The action. So it could be a 20-year-old man, mature man, all right? A man is mature based on his action, so not based on his age. So for me, I think that they are not their action right now shows that they are not good role models for our country. They are not good role models for our sons and our brothers. They mess up so bad, all right? And I bet they are regretting their actions. It is not to even mention his age, and imagine the children. Now, for my source and the exact information I got is that they did not force the kids, right? They did not force the ladies, as they saw them to be ladies, not children. They did not force them. They were taught to be helpers, and helpers then asked to be taken to their hotels. So in a sense, I will put a question to our men all here and our brothers, okay? Like CEO, if you were to meet someone, you went to, say, Singapore, and you saw few, young girls come up to you and say, oh, do you need help? We can help you. Take your bag. We can help you shopping. And then the next thing they ask you, please buy us some food. And you say, oh, okay, nice. You feel welcome in that instant. You go and eat. And the next thing they ask you, can I go to your room? What will you choose? Will you choose dignity, or you choose just in that second what your man whatever tells you, you know. So this
Okay.
is the choices that our young men,
Can I respond to
our
that question you're asking, Madam?
okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, you
I don't
asked
know, I
that,
can hear you clever.
and you know the reason I want to respond so quickly because I have had
Mm-hmm.
two different experiences with teenagers in Korea. Two different experiences. One, they met me closer by the 7-Eleven and asked me to buy them cigarette. Three girls, beautiful young
Very good.
girls. They asked me to buy them cigarette. And one thing I look at the facial expression, I know they are kids. And you know what did I tell them? I blasted out there and tell them to get the hell out of my sight before I call the police for them. That was the first thing that I did.
Exactly.
Second,
Very good.
another one again met me again, asking me that I should give them money, that they are hungry. I'm telling you, beautiful Korean girls asking me for money, but I know what they wanted to buy was cigarette because you know the Korean law, once you are on an age, you cannot buy cigarette to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go out the 7-Eleven, they will ask you for your identity. And want to show that you are on age, they cannot sell you cigarette. So when she asked me for money to buy food, you know what I did? I said, come with me. I took her to the 7-Eleven. I said, take what you want and I'll pay for it. She was embarrassed. She took what she wanted and I paid for her right at the counter, and that was it. I told her to go away and I went my way. So there are so many ways you can approach these issues. You know, like you said, I mean, we are men, we are grown people. This guys in question are people who have their family. You just left on the 19th of Liberia, left your family, not even a week. What's so much you miss? What's so much
Yes.
you miss? Just less
Yeah.
than
So that
control yourself. So
yeah.
there's no
So that is my point. My point is self-control. And this
self-control.
is this could serve as a lesson. It is a disgrace, right? It is a disgrace for Liberia. It is a disgrace for our diplomatic corps. It's a disgrace for officials. So I bet you may not understand, Koreans are not racist, but they are very discriminative and they are very stereotype. They quick to stereotype things. Yeah, I know Lincoln love this country. I love this country. It's my second home. But I'm an activist within this country, and I can tell them to the face. I've been writing on discrimination in Korea, and I presented discrimination cases at many symposiums. So I would just like to tell you that it is very discriminative, but it depends on how we carry ourselves, right? So if you want to be on the good side, and I bet he is Mr. CEO is not able to see those part because the way he carried himself, like he said, he met those kids, and I started with bad teenagers because every society got the bad and the good. I'm not trying to back for these guys, but I'm just trying to see our society, how much common sense can we use, how much moral intelligence can be implemented in places and cases where we do not have to go this route, right? If Mr. Brown, knowing full well he got a teenage daughter, he got a daughter that is going to college, right? If he saw a lady that looked very young, and he thought about that, he been speaking about that, he saw that they were young. Even when they asked him about, from my reliable source, they asked him about going with him to the hotel. He asked, your parents know about this? They said, we are not kids. We are 26 years old. We are 21 years old. So, I'm just giving hints of what has been going. So there are bad kids in the background in Korea. Trust me. The police knows that. And the kids too, on this case, they might be, in fact, not might, they will go to juvenile prison because they tell a lie. And if the two gentlemen can prove the lies, the kids will also be punished. But whatever the case is, we do not root out the intelligence, the control, the moral standards that our people or our diplomats coming to Korea to that all important meeting that they should have had. Then another point I'd like to make is that most of our officials that come here, it would be a very nice thing if they would just contact the Liberian community. I bet if they have contacted some of us, maybe contact Lincoln in there in Gwangju. We know people in Busan. Busan is far from every one of us, but there are Liberians there. We could have assigned a person, a student, got students all over, or somebody living there could be assigned. So this is something for us to learn. We always say we don't like to be part of Liberia. You know, we criticize each other. We are the worst community in the world. But guess what? We will have each other back, despite, you know, our differences. So imagine if they had just contacted someone to guide them after the conference. Then maybe they wanted to buy phones, maybe they wanted to eat, maybe they want to have a good time, whatever they wanted to do. I bet if a brother was there, they would have been safe from this. So we should not, this is just a lesson, I'm just throwing that out, not to take side with them, because I'm very angry about their attitude, but I'm just laying the foundation to say that the key point or the key factor of these kind of mistakes that are happening, destroying our character, destroying our name around the world, it's lack of moral conduct, lack of respect, self-control, and just intelligence to understand that you are carrying a Liberian official passport. It does not belong to you. But most of these officials, because they got a job or however they got that passport, they feel entitled. You are carrying our name. So they do not feel responsible. Now, if you will calculate properly, knowing the passport you carry and the position you occupy, you won't do something foolish like that. So you see, now, yeah, and you have control. I bet if he had taught it wise, then I'm so mad at the same time that two of them, none of them, Mr. 50 years old, with all his experience, and 35-year-old something, Mr. Brown, none of them could like checkmate his friend, right? None of them was a friend. At least, or two brothers together will be like, nah, my man, don't do that thing. I ain't carry nobody to my room. You know what I mean? So if that girl told you, take me to your room, like you don't know her. What if she has a gun? What if she, you know, she called police for you? They didn't even think about that. They only thought about their trouser. And to bring it down, I'm sorry to say and be a little bit, you know, upset. I'm upset when I come to this point, is that is what most of our men think about, and we need to change it. And I thank God, you know, in every situation there is a lesson. Maybe this is a lesson, and this is a time for some of us to talk about the moral conduct of our country. Activists are in Liberia; they are talking. Their voices are not being heard. I think it's about time. I'm urging activists. If your voice have not been heard, it is now time we use this issue. I'm not telling that their issue is something to use, but it is important to set, you know, this as an example, that we do not get into these troubles, that we change our mindset, the way we think about women. And then I will go, because I'm a woman, and I'm not just a woman, but I'm a virtuous woman. I'm a very, very important woman. Women to also know their value and protect their girls back home. I'm going down to Liberia. And also we should be able to tell them the truth. Don't allow your girl shy because you don't have money to go out with an old man. This is normal. You know, and now they come out, charity, they say character begins at home and ends abroad. Look at what has happened. So this is my point. They lack those intelligence, and it is not about his age being 50, but it's just about control. It's just about self discipline, where they who have chosen to walk away from that temptation. Somebody telling you, I'm going to your hotel room. Do you know them? Ask the question and walk away, you know? So they did not do that. And that's just to tell our brothers out there, it's not every enjoyment is a good enjoyment. Now, 2 minutes enjoyment will land into a 3 years, 5 years prison. Yeah, because there was penetration, however. Yes, yeah. It's an alleged, but it is, I'm telling you, from reliable source, and the thieves, they know they did something.
It actually happens. So it's not something, even though it's alleged, we're still waiting on the Korean authority to come up with.
Yeah, it's alleged, but I'm just telling you that if it's proven. But from the story CEO, it is going to be final. I'm telling you, it's just God. Maybe we'll pray for them, but it is not good at all. We are not looking at it to be something that they will walk us scot-free. No.
That's what I was just saying, because these guys are in communication with family back home, and communication with family back home confirmed that they actually did the act. But you know, they are crying, they are ashamed, you know, they are confused.
Exactly. This should be shame. It will be very shameful thing.
You know, you stress a very important point. You know, you came on a conference from the 19th to the 23rd. Gentlemen, I mean, just less than 1 week, man. You just left your wife and children, you know, back home, and you just, I mean, married men, you know, sometimes too, God move from behind with the men, and when we try to be very promiscuous, you know, my man Tiba laughing. Yeah, you know, You know, when you have a faithful wife behind you who is praying every night and day, and then you want to be, promiscuous, around the corner and think, God, sometimes move behind you, because there are a lot of things. Because look at what I read about this guy, the Moses, Owen Brown man, about having a girl staying with him and a wife, and then he allegedly had an affair with the girl, and they had to leave from where they were living to another place, and then he was given a job. And trust me, that alleged rape case was being, around the country, and our Senate had to confirm that man with all of that speculation of rape. That's why sometimes I say, the Liberian Senate is a big problem in our country, because if you know there's some suspicion of sexual harassment or sexual assault, what should you do as a Senate? Try to make sure that that case comes to table before such person can be confirmed. The man was confirmed after he was appointed to go for that job in Britain. And what did they do at the end of the day? They gave him a job. They confirmed him. So that is very serious. A married man that left his wife for just less than a week could not control himself after saying for better or for worse. It is true that we all are not 100% perfect, but we are all fighting towards perfect. Because the Bible says, none is perfect under the sun. We all fighting towards perfection. So that's just how it is. How can a married man get himself involved with such things? That's why he crying all around the corner. He calling family and friends back and crying, because it is disgracing, to he and his family getting involved in such case. So let's hear you, Alfred Kunowa. Let's hear you, my brother.
Our sister just lay it out. It speaks of our intelligence.
We're gonna open the phone lines just in 30 minutes time. We'll open the phone lines for taking calls. So let's just make our own personal points on the topics tonight. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, Kunowa.
So, like I said, our sister just laid out the premise. It speaks to our intelligence. I was even thinking whether the guys, really recognize the code of conduct as a diplomat. The way you dress, the way you speak in diplomacy, it has serious consequence. Say, for example, you are a diplomat, you just dress reckless. It does not show your intelligence as a diplomat. It does not show look, the way you dress as a diplomat speaks of the country you come from. How the people value their intelligence. So it all boils down to the issue of intelligence. And our sister just laid it right. You have two grown-up men, mature men. If one person was making mistake, one person could not see the mistake. It just speaks to the fact that two birds of the same feather flies together. So if these people are people who are much more engaged into these kind of acts, they will not see the other side of their mistake. They thought that I was something they were their own enjoyment, was time to enjoy, and one of the enjoyment they could do was to have girls with them in a hotel having sex. This is wrong. We should call it as it is. It is wrong today. It is wrong tomorrow, and anybody that engages into this should be punished. It doesn't matter. Nobody come here to come be compromising issue here to say, oh yeah, because the man my country man, so they may say we do should call. That what happened in our country. Most of our girlfriends are being destroyed because of this thing compromise. Everything won't compromise. Oh, they're not true. Oh, it not happy. Oh, they don't let it man. It doesn't happen in Liberia now. People will come and say, oh, because they hate the man. People will come and say, oh, they not let it man. That why they trying to put false allegation against it, and thank God it's not in Liberia. It don't happen in Liberia. No Korean want anything from Liberian. All right. So if you go in Korea and you not mind your toto, let me talk it out without people here. You not mind your toto, you just carrying it all around. That's what you get. That's what you get. So I will call our people to calm down. If these people went in Korea and caused their trouble, then they face their trouble. No one can say, oh, because the people black. Because those are some of the nuances that people can want the wrong way. Oh, they are black people, so they against black people. No, nobody must be racist thing here. If somebody went and did the wrong thing, let them be punished for it. Now, I have not seen that they are wrong because I don't have the fact before me. But if they are given due process and they are found guilty, let them feel the punishment. We can replace them. We have 5 million people. They can be replaced at any time. We can replace them with find people who will stand up for what is right, who will be morally correct to represent our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you there, Africanoa. You know, this is very important. And whenever we come on the platform here to talk about issues, you know, people sentimentally make some reckless statement, you know, thinking that, you know, every time people say, oh, the government, we are against the government. You know, people don't have love for country. That's just how I consider it to be. It is different. You know, there are difference between having love for country and love for individuals. If you just have love for just the president or maybe some government officials and not have love for your country, trust me, you are doing no good for your country. When we come on here to talk about serious issues, people take it differently. We listen to our president. You know, we have a president who is very much sentimental. You know, can you imagine a president who go for a United Nations General Assembly is into gossip, and the people say, and the people say, I can move around. Let me in my house.
Brother, is it our second topic? Because I am fire off for that topic.
I come in, you know, we're pressing that after our sister leave because our sister part she's not into politics and what have you. So I'm just trying to give you a little reference, you know, on just what we're discussing today. The president said that when people say, you know, I cannot travel and see where I am right now, you know, I'm in my own house, you know. This is my home. I'm the citizen of the world. That's what he said. I mean, Korea, we are this is our home. We live here. Some of our brothers and sisters have their wives here. They have children here, you know. People have their kids here to go to school. This is our home. We must protect our homes. We will not have some reckless government official coming from Liberia to tarnish the reputation of Liberians here in Korea. Liberians living here are very good people, are decent people. We have adopted the Korean culture, the Korean system, the Korean way of life, the Korean food. That's why we eat all of the time. We adapt the culture to the fullest. The language, we know it with our fingertips. And some of us are still learning it. So it tells you that this is our home. So we will not sit there because some unscrupulous beings work within the government of Liberia, come here to represent the people of Liberia, and then, you know, madly perform this something crazy, and then we are here to sugarcoat things. Trust me, no. We condemn it to the fullest any act of sexual assault or sexual harassment from anybody, whether Liberian or whosoever involved. But what happened? We are asking the Korean government for due process for these guys. Once they're found guilty, let them be prosecuted. Because when these guys go back home, where the Korean government going to leave the Liberian government to prosecute, trust me, this guy will go scot-free. Let them be prosecuted once found guilty. And I trust the Korean authority. I trust their laws. I know how strong it is. And I know they're going to do the best so that those victims, you know, can be able to get justice. Because those girls are teenagers. According to the Korean law, the age of consent is what? 20 years old. And it said the girls are teenagers. So teenagers are just teenagers. There's nothing more you can do. Sometimes when you see younger girls or younger children, think of your daughters. Think of your son you have had. Yes, compare them and say, no, this person is capable to become a child. I should not even have such mindset, you know, or having any kind of I mean, how can some guys, you know, have feeling for girls that the older, I mean, they have about 10, 20 years, you know, of age ahead of them. 50 years of men going out with 20 years, I mean, it gets in a teenage, you know how crazy that is. So we're going to wrap up soon on this topic, and then we'll finalize on the issue of Judge Weah's speech. We'll not take longer time. So let's hear you again, Madam Crezo. Look at the issue of this guy, the Moses Owen Brown. There's also an alleged case about him in Liberia before he could be appointed to such diplomatic position. This guy also had an alleged rape case with a child that was staying with him and the wife. It is on record. I just read The activist name, you can search on Facebook. It's also there. The post is right there on the page. I'm just quoting what she said, that this guy has also been involved with such art. And right after that, while they were trying to push the case to the court, the government, he was appointed. And the same Senate that is causing problem for Liberian today confirmed this guy. What do you have to say about such guy being involved for the second time? Yeah.
Yes, it's disheartening. It's not good, and it just shows that a lot of these things are happening in our country, and people go scot-free. Yes, I think even if it's an alleged case, like back home, they should have investigated. It shouldn't be like a promotion, right? Because once you have certain status and in government, people don't. It's such a shame that we can even be saying that this is what happened in our country. I just want to see like if Korean authority will go online and they will see the many statutory cases and rape cases we have in Liberia. They will just understand this is our culture. I don't know. It's kind of shameful to say, and we are discussing it. It gives me a little bit of creep because I'm just feeling for those families that are in pain, those women that are in pain, and it keeps going on and on. It's a big issue. It's a crisis in our country. I would just like to declare it's a crisis. Sexual assault, any form of sexual assault, any form of sexual abuse is a crisis in Liberia. Yes, and it has to be addressed. And people should not just go scot-free because they know people, they can beat the system. I would just tell you something. I had an experience with a family member. My sister was sexually assaulted in Liberia. And it's frustrating to say that we got nowhere with our case. We got nowhere, and I just got to a point like, keep it. I asked the lawyer, how long can we keep this case? Because we need to follow the case. And he said 10 years. But guess what? Because your case will take long, they are looking for cases where people's stomach open wide and some, a child die in order before they can do something. So I think it's unfair. It is not human rights. In a sense, that part of life is abuse for human rights. People need to give account. People need to be responsible for their actions. If it's an alleged prove it that you did not do it. Yes, give us the benefit of the doubt, but they cover up those things. So it's bad. Having him have that kind of accusation and walk away, going, it could be a comma. Comma comes back right back, So you can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing that. And this is a lesson. It might happen in a country where they do not even seek law, they do not even investigate, they kill you on the spot. So we have to stop these kind of things, and being a married man as well. The Bible talks about, for my background, the Bible talks about marriage. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure for God, because God would judge idolatry and sexually immoral behavior. Okay, if anyone in James chapter 4 verse 17 is, if anyone they know the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin for them. So they know the good and they chose not to do the good. All right. What would it have been for Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown has a daughter, a young daughter. So what will he feel if the coins were turned around and it was another man that was doing that to him? Let me tell you, I will not call names, but there are people that are calling rape kids. My daughter's being raped. But guess what? They are the one raping other people's children. It is just so terrible. It's like a demon that have possessed our land, has possessed our men to destroy the men. And I think we as spiritual people, this is serious. We need to get on it. If pastors are listening, if leaders in churches are listening, religious people, this is serious. This, we have to take it seriously. Our country has been destroyed. Rape cases is on the rape. Before in the world, the highest rape case was in India. But if you check the status now, Liberia is almost topping. This is bad. It's totally devastating. It is not good at all. So we need to stop it. So I don't think, he has a good reputation with that coming up right now and people saying it and having, those kind of cases against him. I don't know whether, it's coming right back to him. And in Korea, trust me, If the law says just sexual assault, if you are even accused of it and it's proven that you sexually harass someone, now maybe sometimes we even talk about these things in our society. We think sexual assault is just actually forcing a woman to have sex, but it can be at work. We a lot of people in Liberia have been sexually harassed at workplaces, females. We are the vulnerable group of people. Vulnerably, we are there at work. I experienced those kind of things working back in Liberia. So you must like sleep with the boss, and the boss is something. It's either you decide to leave the job. So all of these things. And guess what? In Liberia, if you were to report sexual assault case or sexual harassment case, they don't take it serious. They won't even look at you. They say you have not been raped. Yes. So I think we should look at these things, and it's time for us to speak louder than before. It has come. I'm sorry to say, it has shown abroad, right? It has disgraced us. This sort of attitude has disgraced us publicly. Korea, of all places, that we are being seen. Government official. Now, I'm sorry to take on your time, but Lincoln, when it happened, my first thought was, and is that maybe fake officials? Because there are a lot of people to come. I'm telling you, that's some of the things we are talking about here. People are coming with official passport. All right, they are not officials and they're committing crimes. So my first thought was, we need to find them. It's enough. We need to find them. But to know these are people that are actively in service, working for the government, working for our country. Yeah, so it is a disgrace. It's not fine at all.
Okay, so let me read out this comment from an activist. Say, well, Liberia is a country located on the west coast of Africa, has chronicled post-rape and has since declared it as a national emergency on October 11, 2020 by its president, George Weah. The president, declared rape as a national emergency on October 11, 2020. And then she goes on to say, this great step clearly mirrors Liberia and its people as anti-rape campaigners. Gender-based violence should have no place in any decent society. We therefore clamored against it and condemn the recent allegation of sexual assault and rape by two Liberian Maritime Authority delegates as at the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, smart practice training and started visit in Busan, South Korea. With no delay, we are calling on the relinquished authority, the requisite authority to promptly bring the perpetrator to justice, as this act has the propensity to rule the diplomatic record of Liberia and subsequently cast a dark cloud over its citizens. We stand with the alleged victim. We say no to rape and all forms of violence against women and children. This post is from Victoria Johnson. Yeah,
Can I
so
respond
she's an
quickly?
activist. Say that.
As I said, can I respond quickly?
Yeah. Go ahead. So right after you will try to open a line so we can get calls, and then from our audience that are following us discussing the issue of the rape, that happened in Korea, alleged rape. Let me just keep using the word alleged rape until the Korean authority that finalized this.
When our sister was laying the premise about how our people can become so reckless, especially in the job places in Liberia, I was just thinking that even if that our countrymen are not found guilty for maybe sexual assault as it may be, but they could be found guilty for sexual exploitation.
Yeah.
Right? They could be found guilty for sexual exploitation because if those girls saw them to be men of wealth and decide to take chance with them, and they did not recognize that any action on their part would have, been considered exploitation, and they decide to carry on their action, they could be charged for sexual exploitation too, and they can't get away with that because they are men of character. There are men that obviously the people have money. Let me talk in our language so people can understand it, right? The people get money, so if you get money, someone get come to you and she want your money and you use that against her, you go, that's a crime. That is a crime, right? So for me, when you are reading that post, I was just thinking, you think Joe, we are serious? Sometimes, you know, I let her take the articulation from there, so we can speak strictly to how people understand. You say October, Joe declare rape in Liberia as what? National emergency.
Yeah, national emergency.
They see Joe get a foreign minister who is accused of rape in the United States. He's been indicted in court. He run away from here, but he foreign minister in Liberia. Then you say Joe say in declare rape case as national emergency. You think Joe serious, brother Loki, brother Lincoln? You think Joe really serious on that thing you were talking? If Joe was serious, you will not find Kimaya. Kimaya will not be foreign minister by this time. Kimaya would have in fact he would not even be in that position. You see, this is a scene we're talking about. We're talking about compromise. You get somebody who was accused of rape in America. He left America. He went back to Liberia. The American government now only stopped there. They made a wife personal ingrata in America and took out the immunities that belong to a diplomat. They took her away from her. She left from here. She in Ghana. She lay in Ghana because she didn't go back to Liberia because they raised her husband poor in. She didn't go back to Liberia. She in Ghana laying down there. You understand? But you still have the man as foreign minister. He followed the president to the UNGA. The president Syria, my man. The president Syria. So until we can have a leader, a robust revolutionary leader, who will begin the process of clamping down on this bad conduct in our society, we will not go nowhere. It takes one person to start the process. You don't need 10 persons to do it. Since our legislature have become so weak and dormant, the only thing they can do, they can think about that to steal money. Because somebody can be allegedly, accused of rape, then you go confirm them. It makes sense. What kind of moral lesson you are sending out? If you will go confront somebody who, for example, they say somebody, the person stole yesterday, and you want a good moral conduct in your society, the person come to your home. They say, okay, my man, forget it, man. I think I happen like people talking. They can't go be the chairman for the company. It makes sense. These people are not making sense until we can have a strong, robust, revolutionary president in a mansion that will stand up and say, we will do this to change lives. We will not be going nowhere. Like I told you in my previous statement, you have people in our country who are in jail for just rape business. They can either say they're working. They will go and catch the poor and put it in jail, and they will never get them free trial. They will just be in jail. Some people spend 3, 4, 5, 10 years in jail just because a year rape. They have never been prosecuted. But you have government officials who will do it, and nothing will come from all of it. Joe, not serious, my man. That be frank. Joe Weah is not serious. President Weah is not serious when it comes to the issue of rape. Because he himself was accused by his chairman, Mobile Moru, on tape. That before he gave me job in Liberia, he had to sleep with it. On tape. Now I'm saying it's on tape. So the president is not serious. So we're talking about serious issue here. I'm be talking about Joe Weah. Because Joe Weah said he ain't going to die. Do you understand?
Okay. You got.
When it comes to the issue of rape, Joe Weah to fight rape issue in Liberia.
Okay, to welcome to the show. You just come in, you can late. Okay, she left already.
When you have your foreign minister who is accused of rape in America, who cannot come to America, whose wife has been sent back home to put it from America because of the issue of rape, then you can't say he declared rape as national emergency. Joanna, sure. I thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Tutu, you just come in. Send me your number. Let me try to. Timas have to go quickly because he have some business.
715.
Yeah, send me a number quickly. Let me add it there for the US caller.
I should send it in our group.
Yes, send it to me. Send it to me. Let me try to post it on here so we can take in calls for those in the US to make their call easily, so we can hear from them about the rape issues. so that our guests can take leave. Then we will at least run 30 more minutes with the issue of the president's speech. But welcome, even though you came late to class, but welcome.
Thank you.
But I know you've been following, so you got any comment to make while you are sending your number? You got any comment to make on the
Yeah.
issue of the last rape case?
I just
Okay,
sent it. The refer.
Okay, let's hear you.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's it.
I'll send me a labrador no more.
I know Labrador number again. Okay, guys. Good morning, everyone. I had to come on the show because I wanted to. You know that we can hustle all over the place.
Yeah, because CDC business, I don't know why you say no. I gotta be
What
there.
CDC business? We're talking about the country. I am a mother. I usually tell people, look, I am a mother, regardless the politics. I am a woman. You think when I hear about rape, I feel good? Babies have been raped all over the places, and you say, CDC business. What CDC business got to do with me coming up?
Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear you. What's your take, man?
Let's hear you.
Okay, what happened? Let me just say something quickly to Konua before I proceed. Konua, I always hear you saying negative things about the president. George Weah is not serious. You have to stop that, Konua. You can address the president. You are my son, and I'm addressing you like my son. You have to address the president in a different manner, not that way, Konua. Remember, your time is coming. You're going to be your representative. You will not like me because I'm going to be your opponent. You will not like me addressing you in that manner. So you need to stop it. You can say another thing. Politics is beautiful, but you don't have to say those things to my president like that. Okay. Pertaining to the case in Korea, the rape case was alleged. Until proven guilty, we can condemn those people. Since this morning, I've been watching this thing here. Those guys that went to Korea, yesterday I told you, I said, Lincoln, you know me now. I stand for the truth. If those guys are proven guilty, let them bear the penalty in Korea. And people will usually say, George Weah government officials. Those people go as officials, but their character they carry with them is not George Weah's character. George Weah is not telling them to go and rape people. George Weah is not telling them to go and embezzle people money. George Weah is not telling them to go kill people. Everybody have their own character. Everybody have their own thinking. So when people saying those things to the president, it's like, I don't know how Liberian people doing the politics business. Those guys that went to Korea, I stand as a woman, as a mother. When they are proven guilty, let them pay their price. Yeah.
Okay, good.
CEO, can I respond quickly to our sister? Let me just correct this. I understand where she comes from, right? I do not hate George Weah. Let me make it clear right now.
I know you do not.
I do not hate the president, right? But as far as pay, right? Those people who are appointed by the president, they go through what we call vetting process. In a diplomatic corps, you have to be vetted. And I would not want to agree that the president will just pick up people based on friendship to appoint them to high-profile position in our government. I would not want to agree on that. So if these people who the president is appointing to a position, if he's not recognizing the vetting process of these people, then I think he himself should be here responsible for their actions. Because in public administration, the leader takes the blame. I'm a student of public administration, so I would not come here and say there and sugarcoat the issue. Okay, the president should take the blame for the misconduct of his able lieutenants. Because
let me hold you right there, Konua. I'm not cutting off. Let me hold you right there. Remember, you know how I came to the US. I come here. Let me just hold you there before I forget. No, Konua. Just hold on, Konua.
You get Konua the time.
Let me just let me talk. Because you're talking, I didn't talk. Okay. So, like I said, when you are appointing people to high-profile government position, these people go through vetting process. And I do not want to believe that you will hear even a pinch of their character and you still appoint them to position. This thing that happened here, that one of the alleged sexual assault person, it is alleged that he had issue in Liberia. They were the same issue of rape, but the president went ahead and appointed him. So in my mind, I will hold the president responsible for their actions because he allowed them to go scot-free with some of the things that they're doing and they have done before. Because I cannot be a president and go appoint somebody who is alleged of rape to any position. I cannot be a president to appoint a foreign minister who is alleged of rape in the United States. His wife was declared personal non grata in America and was deported from the country. She's president in Ghana. You know this. So that turn the coin around. Why if Kimaya, Minister Kimaya, who was accused of rape in America, that's giving the due process now. So when we're talking about due process in America and go through the process. Why he can't come out of America to clear his knee? America is a country of law. Why Kimaya can't come out of America to clear his knee if he believes that
Kimaya is right now in America.
Kimaya is right here.
No.
That's what I want to come in.
Do not get it twisted. The United Nations General Assembly is a democratic mission. When you are over there, the United States government does, the United States law, local law, does not cover you. You are covered by international immunity. So Kimaya can be in America at the UN, but he has a 25-mile radius that he cannot leave New York. Let Kimaya leave New York and come to Iowa and see whether he will not be arrested. Let him try it. So we are saying to you that this president have made a lot of mistakes. If that president was serious on the issue of rape, you will not have people like Kimaya in position. He is saying to me,
okay, let me read out the number. Hold on, gentlemen. Let me read out the number so that our audience can participate. Because I think right now we're trying to dive into our second topic. Because I'm seeing my sister Christiana, she's just looking at us right now.
What? Somebody kept disturbing my line. I don't know who calling me.
Yeah. I posted a number of a call. So your number is already on the screen. So I think that's a caller. So you're taking any number that's calling right now.
Okay, so just wait, let me switch. Then I can take the call.
Yeah.
Because I'm using this phone.
Oh, really? Okay, so yeah, please try to switch.
Just tell them, let me switch. Let them wait a little bit.
Oh, yeah, do that because they will not even want to listen. The people that fuck out. So the numbers on the screen to call, you can call +821057974144 on WhatsApp, or if you're there in the USA, you can also call this number +17152434710. Call these numbers directly.
Okay, give me a phone there. I don't know what it means picking up. 1 minute, please. I'm coming, guys.
Yeah. So if you want to
participate, you trying to call
tonight, reading out the numbers to you guys to participate. We're talking about the alleged rape case of government officials from the Maritime Bureau that came to Korea for a workshop and was caught with teenagers in their hotel room.
Okay, Lincoln.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you pin this number? Let me use my husband's phone because my Wi-Fi is not connecting, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, callers.
I'll be fine.
No problem. So sorry, callers. Okay. I wanted to switch
anyway, actually, while you are trying to call, I like to just throw light on what Mr. Alfred was saying. Well, you know, when you talk about blaming the president, yes, in a sense, you know, I don't want to say 100% everything is the president. The president does not tell people to commit crimes. The president does not tell you to not brush your teeth. The president is not in your home for your character building. The president is not part of your education when you chose not to be educated and intelligent. So the thing is that, but he is held reliable because he's a leader. So I understand that point. I think maybe that's you know the way you're talking about. If I'm correct, yeah. So the president or our system, let me just say the system. All right. If our president will will see the system in a way that these accusations, these alleged, things about their minister or people he think that are capable of working for our government and people, once you are accused of something, once you are accused any crime, like in Korea, I'm just going to give an example of our home. CEO and I here, this is our home. So
Yeah.
once you are accused of anything, even if it's not true and alleged, they are not going to confirm you. In Korea, just the other day, the city mayor of Seoul committed suicide just by an allegation, an alleged crime of sexual harassment. He killed himself. If it was true or not, we don't know. Okay, but why? Because that alone has a tendency of damaging his entire generation from first generation to So I pray that the system can work in that way, where our leaders, not only George Weah, not only President Weah, because this thing has been happening for record ages, where we have this kind of system that we can evaluate leaders, we can evaluate people that are appointed to represent us in other countries or just in Liberia. So if we have that, and we have character building, we understand what it means to have moral values and how to carry ourselves as officials, that will change something in our country, and not just blaming the president.
Good morning, caller.
Thank you. So is this okay now? We still using the same number, right?
Yeah, the same number. They can call me on the two numbers, no problem.
Okay. So let me try.
Somebody is already on the line. Don't put a second number. That's fine.
Okay. Good.
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from? And what's your input?
My name is Augustus P. Fluman. I'm calling from New York. First of all, I'm going to ask a rhetorical.
Your name is what? What is his name?
Augusta Flomo.
Damn it.
My name is Augustus P. Flomo, and I'm going to ask a rhetorical question to my brother Konowa. My brother Konowa, my sister Tutu said that you are aspiring to be a representative. I don't know how true that is, but let's assume you're going to run for, the representative seat, or maybe you are deemed to be appointed by the president to be a defense minister, or maybe a foreign minister, or somebody in his cabinet. And then one of your opposition who do not want you to win or do not want to see you appointed to that position, one morning he wakes up, he pays somebody, a young lady, and the mother say, "Hey, go and accuse Konowa that he raped you." So, Mr. Konowa, are you saying just because of that allegation, the people should not vote for you, or you should not run for representative, or the president should not appoint you just because of that allegation? The answer is no. So for you to say there was allegation,
no, you can't answer for me. You can't answer for me. You can't answer for me. Ask a question and I will respond. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, they're listening to you. Flomo.
How you ask question and he answer the question, my man? The answer is no.
Now let me talk about the rape issue. If it was rape, it is wrong. A man who is married morally shouldn't leave your wife and go and sleep with somebody else. It's wrong. We all know that. But my question to the CEO is, did those guys take those young ladies to the hotel with the knowledge that they were underage? Or when they said they were over 21 or they were over 20 years old, because like the CEO said, or the other guy or the other lady said, they told the guys that they were above 20. So did they take them to the hotel with the knowledge that yes, they were underage, or they took them to the hotel with the knowledge that they were 21 and they were prostituting? Because in Korea, prostitution is illegal, but the Korean government turned a blind eye on it because they made 1.6 billion a year on prostitution. It helps the economy, so they turned a blind eye on it. So that's my question to see. They didn't know, or they didn't know, because the other lady said they told the guys that they were 21 years, and nobody should come and tell me, so my man, they sleep with people. I know it's wrong. They have their wives, they shouldn't go look for other women. It's morally wrong. We all know that. Like it's a Christian country, we're all Christian. We all know it's wrong. But they didn't have that knowledge that they were underage and they still took them to the hotel. That's my question. Thanks for having me, and God bless you.
You know, one good thing. Let me respond to Augusta, because Augusta
was addressing the question to Konowa.
Yeah, he asked us. The last question was for me. Let me just respond and quickly, I can respond to him while we are waiting the next caller. You know, my brother is always said, innocent of the law is no excuse. That's one good thing you should understand. Innocent of the law is no excuse. Every country you go to in the world have law. So if you go to a country and you don't tell it before going to that country to get to understand, the law in that country, how to hang around, what have you, and you go commit a crime, my brother, you're on your own. You should know that for sure. So what are the girls and said they were XYZ age?
Okay, let's take the color, please.
You on your own.
I'll take the color. Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from and what's your input, caller?
I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're doing good, and you?
Can you just hold on? We have a caller on the line. Right after the caller, I'll take you, please. Hold on. Just hold on. Okay.
You want me to hold on?
Oh, you can go ahead, caller.
Okay. Yeah, I was hearing my brother is saying that President Weah is employing people who are having tinted characters, saying they are in the government, so it should be his fault. Yeah, brother. Your word said accusation. That's what you said in your word. You said accusation. And I realized that Liberians always do it on accusation and accuse people of some crime that may not even be right on the person. Most of the time, when you hear accusation and they go up with it, yeah, that's true. Somebody tell me something that they may not see before. That's why you use the word accusation, because you are educated. And that word, when you define it in a dictionary, it should cut all your case up. When you say something is accusated against, that means it's not proven. It's something that it is not real. It not. So you now know if it's true. So that was the accusation against the foreign minister. It could be true that he did it, but again, somebody said he's in the United States. So you want to tell me United States don't have their security protocol that can stop him even from going to the UN?
Exactly.
The United States are afraid that because he come to the UN, so they hold him on in case and wait for him to come back again another time again and persecute him. That's the same accusation we have today. We have targeted censure on the government. And that's why I always tell people, accusation. When somebody come from among the government because they are opposition, they go lay complaint to the White House. They go tell the people they excuse me. Hello?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I'll be with my talking here.
They go to the White House and lay complaint to the White House just to create some kind of panic and conflict to the nation. And now when the White House people don't even take time better to investigate and go and start catching people in the country and say, oh yeah, target this session, because somebody lay complaint, somebody say something. And I think as an opposition, we have to be critical to the government in places that they are not doing right. We come to road construction, we come to life, we come to the important things, then we can be critical on things that are not really necessary, that will not move the country forward. And my brother, it's true that when people have things that character, they should not be elected. But when you look at the whole Republic of Liberia, I don't know who you're going to take out that not have no that character. I don't know. Because even your senators are in the House of Senate, the men are all former rebel leaders there. And like Brent people into power today, they haven't good son of money. So if you think that it's a job, we are probably those guys coming to the government you like. They've been there during the days of Heli. They've been there during the days of Doe. They've been there. That's how they've been doing. But we want to see that coming up. But I mean, we have understandable things for us to be able to make the case. But not to just say, oh, allege is not a right way for to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from this caller from South Korea. Hello, caller, your name and where you calling us from?
Hello.
Yeah, speak louder, please, because everybody want to listen to you.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, hello, go ahead.
Okay. All right. You hearing me?
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and where you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Molondoro Yabazo. I'm calling from Busan, Donjuchon City in South Korea.
Okay, what's your take on our topic tonight?
Okay, this is, as I'm seeing this, is like an example, because it will be a very good example for government officials back home, because it's like, or somebody would just be like, you can see a government official 50, 60 years old, and then he having an affair with somebody who is 16 years old, 14 years old, coming from hotel. And Everything you do around, everything you do back home, everything you do back home, you think you can do it everywhere. No, it can't go everywhere. So people take advantage of people's children because they feel that they got money and they're in position. What got Bill Clinton of the great America? What got him down today? The crop of a pants.
Yep.
You know, see?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, people got to let me tell you, because they put you in those positions, your parents, your key you get there, you won't tell me when you come everywhere, you want to open all the lock, big lock, small lock, baby lock, what happened now? Every president lock is opening it all. What happened? What kind of shame is this? What do you want to bring to us? How you want for the Korean people to look at us in this country? I feel very high. Look, I got children, I got 3 girls.
Wow.
One of my friends, as we speak now, one of my friends live right in Korea here. Her little sister daughter was raped 2 weeks ago in Korea, in Liberia, front and back.
Jesus.
Child. Can you imagine? You know what it takes, for us to be here when they come and use here in Korea and for our government officials to come here and prove themselves.
Thank you, my sister.
Something that you have to look at.
So terrible.
And look at things before they even put you in a position. These are things for look at before even voting for people back home. Because these are so disgraceful and so bad for us that when we're passing around, can you imagine the CEO sitting over there, there's brother working here from there, people pointing at it and say, they say, when we're passing, so I told me, like they are.
Thank you, my sister.
For us, our hairs are bent down. You know it. Even when they're still talking now, when people leave for here, they will be worried. People leave for here now. When you guys leave for the show, nobody will be here. We will be here.
Thank you.
Our brothers will go out in the street there when they like real men for the show. Everyone will be afraid of them.
Thank you.
People, it has to accept people when you are accepting people now, then you come in for people in a high position that to come down and start doing their things to their children here. You know what become of the people that you live in here? You know what become of them? You putting them as race. Why people don't even think before they do things? Then they come to be talking. People want to be backing here for them and this and that. Even when I heard about Mr. Brown, man, they're saying that Mr. Brown had a chance before.
Yes, in Liberia. Yes.
I should laugh. It might be from Mr. Brown. So how they kind of get in that position. So when it came and somebody coming from Liberia as an artist coming up here saying that it was something that was clear there and they gave that man a position. You see there, walking street that ain't enough proof is that in Korea. So we will take our placard. Funny the watch, you just know, but we'll take our placards and go out there in Korea street and tell the people that we are not tell all these things that will happen. So our brothers and sisters that will leave here tomorrow, they can't consider us to be rapists. No, we are women, we got children. We're not happy for these things to happen.
God bless you, my sister.
Anybody here is still in that don't go harm our family or do anything to them and say this and that. We'll stay up and we'll tell them that our way in Liberia. No.
God bless you, my sister. And let me just make some. Yeah, thank you, my sister.
Okay, let's take this caller, please.
Let me just make one important point. 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Right? Yeah, take the call. Take the call. The caller can hold on while I make this point. Let me just make the very important point. When we say these things, people feel that we are trying to politicize things. I live in this country. My neighbor was the one who confronted me after I read the information on social media. My neighbor confronted me about these issues. And people want for me to polish everything to make it look like, it's a kick in what I live in this country. Do you know what I mean? That when my country have been denigrated, how can I get a job? How can I feed my family back home? Because if I go somewhere and identify I cannot hide my identity. Trust me. I cannot hide it. And when people try to understand that those guys that were involved in the attitude, I'm from the same country, how do they look at me? But some of you don't understand that. I don't know how some of you guys are so confused about this CDC issue to the extent that when we are saying the truth on the platform here, y'all take it differently. Take the call, my sister. Because I just
Before I take the call, let me say something.
No, take the call.
Seditionists are not confused because you guys said the same thing about Kamenya, and he's in America. America that I know, if you commit a crime, whether you are sick,
Can you please take a call? I
pull you
beg
out
you.
of that state bed to
Can you
prosecute
please
you.
take a
And
call?
you
Can you-
couldn't was sat there telling me that because he covered by United Nations, they can't do him nothing. That's what I feel.
No.
Like, that's not true. Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call, Tutu bro. This is Terry Tell Lion in Akun. My base is Fargo, North Dakota, but I'm in Seattle right now.
Another CDC man again, man. Wow.
To the UN.
Thank you, Nyako.
You can't get nothing good out of CDC tonight.
Can you give the caller chance, please? That's not fair. It should not be a sedition before you be crossing in front of them. That's not fair. Go ahead, caller.
This issue is a holistic issues, a matter of race. And we have people seriously condemn rape, more especially with kids and what have you. Also, we are looking for the way to set a caveat in order to solve this age-old problem with Liberia, and this why someone will call it on the show because people are trying to take this thing personal with the president, and we know we are around the elections time, and anything can happen. So some of these alleged cases, it should be the people should be guilty before we can directly take it on the leadership or whatsoever. As we were talking about Mr. Kamenya issues, it's been alleged that there's no substantial, evidence to really prove that. Even if I don't think the American people really believe that. If the American people believe that even if it's a matter of alleged.
My man, we're talking about Kamenya issue right now.
Can you give the caller chance, please?
No. Let's see to the top. No, you are just giving reference.
Oh,
Let us
no,
see
you
to
can't cut the caller off.
I'm not cutting him off. No.
You're interfering with his
Mercy,
points.
we will not do that. Mercy, we will not do that.
Lincoln, you are interfering with the caller's
No, 1 minute, Mercy. 1 minute. Teddy, you're listening to me very well.
Oh.
Our discussion tonight is about the alleged rape in Korea. No, don't, my man, don't take all. When I gave you all of the time tonight, Afro was just giving a reference on the foreign minister. So please speak to the topic tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not supporting
CEO.
What happened.
Let the man learn. Calm down.
What I'm trying to say is that
calm down.
United States is the leading organ within the United Nations Security Council, and rape is something that very, very, particularly very ridiculous within the society of mankind. So there might be some sort of a protocol to have, recall Kamenya or arrest him or something. But Mr. Kamenya's issues is alleged, and Liberians shouldn't be politicizing it, when it comes to the president. Okay, the way they've been handling Mr. Kamenya's issue, this is why what happened.
You get 30 seconds, caller.
I strongly condemn it. And those guys having to be found guilty, as Tutu Bro said, definitely I will fall on that. And that we can use that as a caveat also to solve the age-old problem within Liberia. But so long that problem is alleged, people shouldn't criticize it. Who knows whether because they want to make the government look ugly and they send those guys on there and to set them on some sort of a way. But I have a man.
My man, stop that kind of thing, brother. We're not here for that kind of a thought, man, brother. What are you talking about, brother? What the Korean government high against that government?
Control their emotion. When it comes to meeting with women, bro, I got sisters, I got daughters. I know I condemn it to the fullest.
Okay. Mr. Nyaku, your time is out.
Thank you, bro, for taking my call.
Okay.
Don't be doing that, man.
Man, leave me, man, brother. I like your man, brother. What you coming to talk? What the Korean government high against Korean government? My man, the Korean government had nothing against the Liberian government. So don't say that kind of thing.
CEO. You can't be interfering with the
No. We will not condone that kind of a discussion on the platform. It's true. I won't interrupt him, but those kind of
Hello, caller.
We can't
Where are you
condone
calling from and what's your input?
My name is Peter Clay, and I'm calling from Rhode Island. You see, it was just unfortunate that he got him. Well, unfortunately, that they slept with those young women. And my brother, his CEO, was saying that he was answering to the other callers in that ignorance of the law. But let's be fair here. I think in the case, it's not ignorance to the law. Everywhere around the world, people know that there's a law. 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds, some 20-year-olds, people know there's a law. But if you go to a young lady who is posing as a prostitute, and she says, I'm a prostitute, let's go to your hotel and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just difficult to ask them for the ID card. I mean, I don't know whether in South Korea there's a mechanism where you can say somebody, you can ask me, let me see your birth certificate before I go to the hotel. So it's not ignorance of the law. I think those guys, they were lied to and they were tricked by those young ladies. And whether they were lied to or tricked, statutory rape is statutory rape. There is no way they can be free from it. So we all know that. But I don't think it was intentional. Okay? I don't think they saw some 15, 14-year-old girls saying we're going to rape them. I think they were lied to by this young lady. So it's not ignorance of the law. They know the law. But the people there, they actually to the 21-year-old, 22-year-old. So they were not ignorant to the law. They lied to them. But they didn't say they get a wife one, why they go sleep with different one. So they wrong on that one. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
God bless you, yeah.
So can I respond quickly before we go to the next call?
Yeah, no, we were taking maximum 3 more calls because we're gonna wrap up right now. Trust me, I'm running out of time. Okay. We are actually running out of time. It's almost 12 midnight in Korea, brother. And tomorrow is working day. We have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, so we got less than 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
I just want to also throw like that the Liberian Maritime Authority vows full cooperation with the Korean authority in the rape allegation of 2 officials. So I think we should just stand by. I think the government of Liberia is also cooperating, and the embassy is aware. They are talking, communicating with the court and the head of police that the 2 accused officials are at right now. So I think, yes, it is an alleged rape, but just even having the title alleged or even connecting to it is just so disheartening. That's it. We shouldn't have it even been connected. And that's why the first caller that called from Korea, she's really, really emotional, because we understand as mothers, and I'm a mother, I'm a mother of a teenager, exact age of those children described. All right. So it feels very, very terrible to even think that, they will be rape also. And then let's just say again, I like to say they are bad teenagers. I'm not trying to back these brothers, but then I also believe, from my conviction and all of the information I've gathered, is that they did not intentionally took those girls saying they are teenagers, they're going to rape them. No, they were lied to. Probably they probably asked their ages, and they have some proof to show that they did translate, because they were using the translation. They were using the phone translation. So when they check their phone, they can actually see whether they asked their ages, and whether or not there is no justification of their actions. There is no justification of statutory rape, because, however, whether they whether they ask that the children lie, whether they show them fake ID cards, whatever it is, and they were offering to go to their hotel, I want to stress again, is the lack of moral discipline, it is lack of character. And as a person, you be married. The Bible talks about in Proverbs, it says that a person that commits adultery will disgrace themselves. Okay, it's in Proverbs. So he or she, that knows that they are married. You're a decent person. You are carrying Liberian diplomatic passport. You came on a mission. You didn't come to just have fun. So I think they just dug themselves in a deep pit just by allowing their flesh to control them. So we need to learn these things. I think it is something that has to be learned by all of our men, our brothers out there, even women. A woman could be an abuser too. So I hope and pray that this will serve as a lesson. And they are not. I don't want to believe once more. I know it's an alleged case, but the way we even treat allegations in Liberia is so careless. I'm sorry to say, but once Liberia will start to take things right when you say, "Oh, it's proven." But guess what? Like I gave an example of the allegation of the Seoul mayor. Allegation in Korea, it is not funny. If even it shows in the news, there's an allegation, an accusation, that means it's a big problem. It's a shame just to be connected with such thing. You know, so we should desist from it. And when we say allegation, people downplay those things like it doesn't matter. It does. Yeah. So yeah, that's my point there. Just being connected to it is a shame for us. And I will be getting off the show soon, see you, because I also need to go to work soon. But I would like to say, as a concerned Liberian in Korea,
we will get your parting comment very shortly. So just give
I ready to chill now.
Give her 5 minutes. Let's take in maximum 3 more calls.
We have a caller.
Yeah, take your call. Yeah,
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from and what's your input?
My name is Grace. I'm calling you from Phoenix. When it comes to the case of Mr.
You say you calling from where, Signet?
Phoenix.
That was Australia, right?
Phoenix.
Hello? Oh, you calling from Phoenix? Okay,
go ahead.
You just want to know the location.
When it comes to the case of the foreign minister, I learned that his daughter was the one that laid his complaint that he sexually molested her. But when you come to the case of his daughter, I think somehow, some way, somebody said she had a mental problem or something not right. So now, with his case, you can't. That's what we say is alleged. That's what we mean is alleged, because now looking at the daughter condition, looking at all this thing, and she's saying things, she could say anything to anybody, and say, oh, this person do this to me. But the proper investigation, which is the DNA result and all these things, is where people look at the issue to be a problem for you. But anybody can get a kiss a child. You can get a kiss a child who just wake up and lie on you. I see some parents who the child and lie on them before. And at the end of the day, because of their condition, coming your child, when they do some investigation, they didn't find out all of these things. This is America. They will give her a DNA result and all of these things and find out and say, oh, maybe something, but they realize that she had a lot of problem, an issue about sex. So now they're like, okay, maybe it could be, something she's trying to lie about. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just conclude about people's case until, like, the word accusation is still an accusation. Like what they say, you're not guilty until proven guilty in the competent court of jurisdiction. That's when people have to hold you responsible for what you have done. That's why people have to hold you responsible. And when it comes to the rape cases in Liberia, most of your rape cases are going uncovered because of the parents themselves and the family shape themselves. It's not leadership. It's the people. It's the individual people themselves. It's not leadership. They always say, oh yeah, that man will know that family thing will take it to the house and talk it. We'll go to the place, we'll take it to the house and talk it. That's what they always do.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
They don't take it like, oh yeah, you raped my sister. Everybody like, bro, I'm on every day. You go to the our nephew from Weah, we're talking, man. That Weah people then we're talking Weah people way. And that's it. That's how the kids go. It's not about leadership. It's about how they together, how they stick together. So in order to prosecute anybody, that's why it's even corruption of prosecuting in Liberia. Because when you tell somebody from Weah, the whole Weah coming outside. You tell somebody from Nima country, the whole Nima country coming outside.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Thank you.
So we got to, based on the real issue and start, alleging things.
Okay, let's take this call from Korea. Thank you. Let's take this call from Korea. Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from again? Yeah, go ahead. You are loud and clear.
I'm Mononoria Yabasu, and I'm still speaking here. Is everybody sleeping in Korea? I'm Nora Yabasu. I will not sleep. I'm still up here. We're talking about somebody was saying like 16 years old. The people ask for the children age and the children that ages. That normal thing like, bro, who can ask for child age like for the sleep with them? You answer that question now. Who can ask for child age like, bro? You say how many years old? They will get no. They don't ask for children age. The thing they can do about who that in the project too. And number two, it seems like somebody they set those people up. What if Korean people setting those people up for? What if people want for somebody for to set you or set you on what team? Nobody set anybody up here. No, nobody set anybody up here. So when we're talking, we shouldn't talk about people setting people up. This is an example for other people to look at when they leave from those places. You don't even stay 1 week here. 1 week here, you not people your things down. You do
disgraceful. So when people talking and today we didn't come here for politics or we didn't come here for the party or this or that. We're talking about what happened in Liberia. What happened in Korea as Liberian government official. You know my government official. They are representing our country, the country image. That is what they are showing here. So you know what it means for these people. Now let me tell you, they're having a Korean president now in jail. For what? Corruption. They have a Korean president not in jail. So what you think? So they see that anyway, the way they see in this country is that when the official, when they are government officials shooting out there, this is how it looks like. That is why they are prosecuting their president right now, and the president is in jail. So for that reason, when they look at our government official right here, they will be looking at they'll be looking at Liberians here are rapists, and then they can do nothing about it. So this is something we should be talking on to net.
Thank you.
Bow our heads and be talking on to net, and be praying for this shame here as well. We are here with two shame. So you have been talking for us so that we can be able to do something better than to come here and be talking about party or politics. Nobody here on party and politics now. You're talking about what going on here, the shame and disgrace we're facing here as Liberians. That's why I want to tell you to net.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen, sorry there, we're going to take our parting comments from every one of us, but let me just make this point very clearly. Like our sister just said, people sometimes, take things to be, people sometimes politicize things, and that is very serious. It is very, very serious. Korea is a very peaceful country. Like I can tell anybody in the world, Korea is a very peaceful country. I've been here for a number of years now, and I know how peaceful I'm living in this country. Not a day somebody will look at me and post slap in my ear or even cuss me in my face. I live very peacefully in this country, and I know how peaceful I'm living here. With what happened, we understand the Korean law. Our own Anthony from Liberia, Ambassador Ruval New York, make us to understand that in Korea at age 20, that's the age of consent. So children everybody lies. So I don't want people to capitalize, say, oh, the children lied to the men. And no, you came to represent your country on a mission. You did not come for fun time. And then you want to justify that, oh, yeah, the children lied to the guys. And no, hell to them, no. Who don't lie? You know why did I say they lie to the girls then? And tell them some different stories and then I even bust their brain. Do you know that they lie to the girls? Do you know that? So I don't want for all to even capitalize on the girls lie to them. They themselves lie to the girls. So it's nothing on that thing to justify about. They were wrong in their act. We're in a war with a man that is 50 years old, want to hang around a girl that is in her 20s. Or even, that's okay, teenage. Even if the children lie, say they're in their 20s. Let's just look at it logically. You're in your 50s. Why don't you even try to hang around women that are in their 30s or even 40s? But women are in their early 20s. Why you want to go to your child age range? Why you want to do such? Simply because these are similar habits they exhibit back home. That's why they want to bring outside. And they fail to realize also have different policies and different laws. But when we try to talk about these things, people try to be very party sentimental. Because it is CDC today, so we are talking about government officials that work with the CDC, so people want to take it differently. These guys are wrong.
We're talking about REP, you're talking about CDC.
They came on a mission. We are again, let me see. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, your name and where you calling us from?
Makata here, calling you from South Korea.
Okay, let's hear you quickly.
Well, thank you for the show. Well, what I want to say is that we are closely following the process, and for our government officials to leave the country and come bring such a disgrace to our nation is unacceptable, and we want to say that we are following up on everything, and I hope that justice will be safe, and our government will get involved to make sure that they follow up the details, and then if possible we want to distance ourselves, especially in South Korea, because such an action, when you come for public mission, when you are sent for public mission, you got to focus on your mission. You cannot come and go in different direction or do something different that would not promote the image of the country. So we are calling on officials who will be sent in any other country as a warning to everybody that if go on a public mission, be doing something that is not meant for the nation.
Thank you.
Involvement action that does not represent our country.
Thank you.
So we totally work with such a
thank you.
action. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, take that last call there from your end. Yeah, take that last call and then we get our party comment. Yeah, take your last call there.
Hey, hello, good morning. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Patrick Coleman. I'm calling from California. I just want to do it quick. I was supporting Lincoln on this show the whole time till he said something. Look, Lincoln, a 50-year-old, I don't know how many years you're older than your girlfriend or your wife, but a 50-year-old man dating or marrying a 30-year-old woman is very normal. So when you see a 50-year-old man, where will you go and date a 30-year-old? It's very all around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin.
But I think the guy did not understand me clearly because what did I say?
Exactly, he didn't understand you.
No, he did not understand me. I said at least a 50 years old man should even be trying to hang around somebody around 30 or 40s.
But what
But
age
not
gonna do it? A 50-year-old man can date an 18-year-old girl. It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Let me tell you something
the
about the
should not
Korean
be
culture.
underage.
Let me tell you something about the Korean culture. Yeah, that's why it is often said that
with somebody underage.
No, listen, my sister. That's why it is often said that a screener that asks questions never miss the rule. When you go in room, always out of the room. In Korea, the relationship age range is not even more than 5 years. My sister Chris can bear me witness here. When you see in Liberia or maybe in America, you see godmom and godchildren, and that's where get in Korea. There's no woman that will be 50 years or even want to date a man that is 40 years or no. It does not work here in Korea. There are only maybe 1 or 2 years or 3 years different among them, between them. That's just the age difference between relationship here in Korea. So you see they grow up together, they get old together. You will never see a young girl with an older man here in Korea that's married. No. Christina, you can bear me witness on what I'm saying, and let us get your parting comment on this whole case, so you can begin.
Right.
Go ahead.
That is true. And I think you're stressing about the 50-year-old main thing because based on the culture and the environment we are. So anyway, my parting comment is that as a clergy woman, a permanent citizen of Liberian community, and a concerned citizen, Liberian community, a mother, most especially a mother, I would like to condemn the act, whether alleged or accusation, whatsoever we may call it, until proven, and if it's proven to be true, that they rape or accused of statutory rape or sexual assault, we will be behind it. We will declare, we will condemn it to the fullest. We are going to take our placards, and I'm saying it very quietly because we've already made our decision and we already know what we're going to do. As Liberians in Korea, concerned Liberians, as mothers in this place, we are taking our placards. We are not covering no shame for anyone because we have to live with the shame. All right? It's just clear, and it's just upsetting us all in Korea, especially the community here, Liberian community. Most of these officials, you come here, you don't ask for the community, you don't see us, like you said something, or if you come somewhere, you ask for the people and you'll be guided. But you did not ask about us. You did not care about us. And now we should, I got a call, and some of the family that call us because they know some of us are very strong opinion leaders in this community, and they were saying, "Oh, Chris, you people, just bear patient until everything something." No, we are going to be speaking out soon. You're going to see the next news will be Liberians in Korea condemning the act. And if we support the investigation, and if they are proven to be true, they must be prosecuted according to the law of Korea. That's it. So we just want to urge everyone in Korea concerned Liberians. This is not political. This is not about CDC. This is not about UP. This is not. We are Liberians, and we are carrying the passport of a decent country. Despite our odds, we are good people. We are a great nation. There are so many things Liberians have been able to overcome, and I believe in the future of Liberia, despite all of the bad leadership and all of the things that we are going through right now. And I would say that we believe in Liberia. We believe in the future of Liberia. We are looking forward to a great nation, for our children, as generational changer, and as a pass this word with our fathers and married men out there. If you're not ready to be married, don't be married. But if you're going to be married, and you have responsibility, you have children, you have your family. These men, actually, their wives are crying. I want to cry along with them, because I just can't imagine me. If it was me, I put the women in my shoes. What would I be doing? There are children, there are girls' children out there looking at your daddy picture on the internet, being alleged, rapists in the nutshell. So Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32 says, I like to end with this, but a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. So this is what the Bible says, and that is it. If they did not go according to the moral standard, they don't have any moral value. They thought in Korea is just a jolly place. You can just grab someone on the from the street and go into hotel with them. They have destroyed themselves. I pray that God will forgive them and that the law will take its course. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let's take the last call from Korea. Then before we go to you, Afra, then we'll go to our sister. Go ahead. Hello, caller. Your name and where you joining us?
My name is Kwanu. Korea.
You say your name is what?
Kwanu. I call from South Korea.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your point, my brother.
I was just listening to Sis Chris. We need to condemn the act. This is wrong. This is the same thing that happens in Liberia. They make the country very hard to the extent that young girls at age of 16, 17, sleeping with older guys without shame. Even people that they can be called their daughter, grandchildren, they sleep with them and they have no shame. It's the same thing they bring in Korea. Before you come to our country, you need to search and do a research of the country. The age of consent in Korea is 20 years.
Thank you. On that. Yeah.
So you can be a married person with dignitary and you start going as your teenager. Most of them have that mindset, we come to Korea, Korean person. It's very, very bad. They have a bad image on the country, has a bad image on Liberians that live here. It's all in the news right now. My girlfriend was showing me and say, is that how Liberians people can behave? And it's so shameful. I have to cover that up to say, it's just an allegation. But this is very wrong. We need to speak about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for making your point. So let's go to the female. Got female first before gentlemen, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to you, Mercy. Let's hear your pattern on this.
First of all,
gentlemen, I mean, I'm sorry we could not dive into the President Weah case because trust me, it's already 11 p.m. I mean, his speech at the United Nations General Assembly.
We talk about it next on it.
Yeah, thank you. So let's hear your parting comment, my sister. Then we hear from
me, guys.
Frank.
First of all, I will speak on the churches in Liberia. The churches fill the nation. The churches fill the Liberians. They compromise.
Even the mosque. Not even the mosque.
The Muslims and the Christians, the churches and the mosques, they fill the nation. The men of God, the women of God, they put the financial aspect first before the heart of a human heart. We see a lot of babies get raped to death and nothing is done. Not a soul called men of God or woman of God spoke against those things. I condemn the churches. That's my first point. And secondly, I come down to the student business like Government sending students out of country, especially abroad to study. I am a very disciplined, character-wise student that was chosen years back to come to Liberia to practice, to come to America to practice. Before coming to America to study, there's a vetting process. They must know the kind of woman or man you are before sending you to that country. And you have to take a test that will represent you. If you cannot score that mark, the both of you know what I'm talking about. If you cannot score that mark that is required, you cannot travel abroad. We were 10 that sat that ECL test. They needed just 74%, and I gave them 89% years back. And I came to America because of my character, because of the way I portrayed myself. I carry myself as a woman. When I applied for residency in America, the American government was glad to give me that residency. So people coming to school, the vetting process was done. But you have your mind and understanding in a different way why that person have theirs. You cannot know what's in that person's mind. You don't know their intention until they go out there to display. And I'm saying it again, those men that were alleged in Korea, I'm speaking as a woman and mother and a Liberian. If they are found guilty, they should pay their prices. Period. I'm not going to put politics in that one. We come here, we argue on politics. I am a fair and truthful woman. I stand with all the women, the girls, the children around the world. You don't mess with no woman and come here and be backing blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to come here and talk with aggression. When something happens, you don't talk with aggression until you have the facts. You think I'm going to come here and bring those men down? I'm not going to come here and talk down on them until the Korean government prosecute them and they're proven guilty. That's when Tutu will come here to open her mouth to talk. And two, when we talk about age range, men dating girls from 18 up, you can be a 70 years old man. You can date an 18 years old. It's in the law. I have criminal justice. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
But not every country, now. Maybe that meant for Liberia, but not for Korea.
Okay. Even in America, you can be 100 years, you date an 18 years old girl. Konoa, am I lying? It's not a crime. Once that girl is of age, you can have an affair when she consents. I don't know about Korea's law.
Korea talk about 20, age 20.
Okay,
the age of
20
consent.
years. And if those girls lie to them, whether they lie to those girls, I'm saying when they are proven guilty, let them be penalized. And two, not two, I got so many points about just hitting them bit by bit.
Yeah, you got to tell them more seconds.
Yeah, 30 more seconds. And you too, when you come out, monitor your time. Where Kenya's case, the last time you guys were choking me on this platform, I told you, I said, Kemaya, just stop laughing. Kemaya was not proven guilty. I'm not going to tear him down. When I'm coming for you to talk something bad about you, which means I have facts. I have legal facts, not just they say facts, but legal facts. Because these things, they drive people into court. I'm not going to come down and talk about Konowa if I know anything about Konowa. Remember, I told you guys last Sunday, I said, come here, you're accusing. He's on the team to come to the United Nations Summit. And Konowa, let me tell you something, my brother. We all in America, we know whether you are in labor, whether you are sick, and you commit an act, America will pursue you to where you are. Regardless your father is a general, regardless you are covered by the umbrella of United Nations, they will definitely pull you out. So if you see Komenya is not restricted to New York, he's out there. You all said Joshua was never moving, but Joshua moving around the town. That's the scene where Komenya is moving to. Joshua went to his house.
But the man,
don't make me alone. We are a Komenya issue.
Okay, go long. The same place. It's fine. That's the same place. But Komenya himself is moving around. You know, when these people are proven guilty, we can come and cut them off. We can come and tear them apart. Let's wait and see what's come out of this Korea case. I'm not saying it was good when they did it. I want you to understand me well. I condemn the act of rape. I condemn women being hurt by men.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
So until they can be proven guilty, then we'll come here with aggression.
Thank
Other
you.
than that, your cease being aggressive until it's proven guilty, period.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, there's something there's something that's called preliminary investigation. That's why some of us have already carried on and we already know where the case is going. So let's hear from you, Konowa. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, again, CEO, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on the show for the first time to appear here to contribute to the debate. I just want to say thank you. But quickly to the issue, our brother called from, I think, California, Papi Flomo, and asked a question whether or not I am desirous of running for a position in Liberia. And to squarely answer that question, our constitution is very clear when it comes to leadership in our country. Whatever position you want to vie for, the constitution says when you are 25 years of age, you can apply for any position in the country. So with that being said, yes, of course, I have a desire to contribute to my country in whatever way possible. Once I'm given the opportunity, of course, yes. Second, he asked a question: if I am accused of a crime, what would I do if I was in an election? You know, as a student of public administration, there is something we call best practice. Best practice. When you become a leader, whether it's in the church, whether even in your home, you have a responsibility to direct the moral direction of your institution, of your home, of government. You have that moral responsibility. So if I am in an election and I'm accused of what we're having on our discussion today, administration require best practice. I will recuse myself and make myself available for investigation. All allegations should be taken very, very seriously, because we have this tendency of undermining allegations to the point where we don't take it serious. All allegations should be taken very, very seriously. There's a saying I say, where there is smoke, there is fire. Where there is smoke, there is fire. So all allegations should be taken seriously until otherwise. Our constitution also provides the issue of presumption of guilt. So everybody is called by the constitution that when you do something, you are considered not guilty until due process. All right. So what we are saying here is this: that the allegation against our diplomats should be taken very seriously, and it is our hope that they will be given due process in South Korea. They'll be given due process, and that the due process will be conducted free and fair. And if they are found guilty, the law should take its course. Now, some of our callers are not learning from history. In the 1990s, Bill Clinton was impeached from the presidency by the House of Representatives for having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. You know why they impeached him? They never impeached him because he had an affair with Monica Lewinsky, but they impeached him for lying on an oath and for obstruction of justice. That means that the allegation against him by Paula Jones, I think I can remember the name. The allegation against him was that he was having an affair with this girl who was an intern student from the university, right? And because of that, he didn't want it to come out. He started suppressing the investigation. So when the investigation formally reached the House of Representatives, they found out that he was suppressing the investigation. So they charged him for obstruction of justice and lying on the oath that he was never having an affair with this girl when all the information came out true. So he was impeached for that. So why am I saying this? As a leader, when you become a leader of a country, you have a huge responsibility to direct the moral direction of that country. That is the reason why I said in my previous conversation that President Weah should be held responsible for some of the action of these appointees. Because you listen to my sister here, she said before coming to the United States for a student course, she was vetted. Not only was she vetted, she was taking a test. She took a test to what? To evaluate her intelligence. You understand? She was evaluated both morally and she was evaluated based on her IQ and how she got the opportunity to come to the States. And when she came to the States, she conducted herself well. And when she applied for residency, she didn't catch any hard time to get it because she conducted herself morally. She was a disciplined person. So, yes, we can say all we want to say, CEO, when people are given responsibility, it is important that they conduct themselves within the core of that responsibility that's given them. I cannot be a diplomat. I go on a conference, then I don't take the conference very seriously. Then I pass around and start messing around. Then you want to say it's just an allegation. For me, I think it was intentional because if the guy never had any intent of jolly, so to speak, right? They would have just left the conference hall and go back in a hotel and reflect on what they have learned and how they can implement that into a policy document for the benefit of our country. You understand? But the whole street of South Korea and be passing around looking for women to go enjoy yourself, I think it was morally wrong. They were indisciplined. They never value their job. That's why they are in what they are in today. So for nobody can say, oh, just an allegation. All allegations should be taken very seriously. And if these guys were caught doing the wrong thing, they should be punished for it. We should not talk. Thank you so much, Mr. CEO.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Before I climax our show tonight, let me just first make you guys understand our guest tonight was the publisher and author of the book called Isn't Fit Crazy, Madam Christiana Joy-Do, based in South Korea. She's also a resident pastor of the Harvest International Fellowship branch in South Korea. We know Harvard International is there also in Liberia. I think is it the former Better World Outreach, right? Is the new name now.
Yes, yes, yes. Now
Yeah.
better. Yes. Now harvest. Better. It's now harvest.
Yeah, the better that as at Congo time in Liberia is now called Harvest Harvest Ministry. They have a branch here. They have a branch here in Korea. She's a resident pastor. She also an author of the book called Isn't Fit Crazy. She have been our guest on here tonight, discussing the issues about, our Liberian brothers or government officials are within the alleged rape case with teenagers in South Korea. My final point here tonight is this. Take it or leave it. You can try to pin all of your comments, whether white or black, is up to you. But the truth is, we will always say rightfully. Korea is a country that always give every defendants or whosoever, due process. Due process is also part of the law of Korea. When you have a court case, you are given due process. So trust me, Korea is a very peaceful country, a country that recognizes every international law and they live up to standard in this country. Korea, some of you, our government back home or our people back home, they don't really focus on the Asian country, just Europe and America. That's why they don't understand what actually happened here in Western world. I mean, in the other side of the world. I was making a comment here, and I don't know why Augusta and other folks are just, gallivanting around with negative comments. I said it is a fun thing that when you are at the age 50, you hang around somebody in the 30s or 50 or 40s. Is a fine thing. But hanging around somebody in the 20s is totally unacceptable. And also, I live in Korea. I'm telling you how Korean system is. Even if Korea law says that at age 50, you can date or marry somebody in age 30, you don't see that common in Korea. I don't know how you think. You are in America. You live there. You know everything that happens in America. You think I can sit down here in Korea and argue with you in America where you live there, you're a resident or you're a citizen, you know everything about America. You think I go argue with you 100%, even with what I'm reading on the internet? But I'm telling you what happened in our society here. You don't see it happening normally. Even if the Korean law says at age 50, you can date somebody or marry somebody in the age 30, like you posted on here. But it is not normal. It is not common. Yeah, in Korea. You always find folks in relationship either 1 year or 2-3 years different between them, not more. I'm telling you for facts, because I've been here for years. I know what I've seen. I know who I've interacted with. Koreans have sat me down and explained the story of Korea to me. How today they are successful, where they started from. You think I just live in a country and just think about just making money and not to understand the culture of the country and get to understand where they came from and where they are today? No. Those of our brothers, sometimes they travel just to marry. They do not travel on government programs for actually the knowledge of the program and come back home to make an impact. They all travel sometimes just for bigotry. Oh, yes, I'm traveling, I'm going to Korea. Taking photo, posting on social media. Come back home, try to pursue our girls and think, oh, I'm from Korea, XYZ. Yeah, then the mega show Ballon d'Or. How can you be on serious president like that? You go on United Nations program. Then you can't show the people Ballon d'Or and d'Or. Like, why you went to represent Liberian people on? But trust me, my brother,
let me just say this quickly, CEO, before you go. And I agree. And I agree to the
Lincoln,
if they chance to talk, Marcel will have to speak. So we'll talk that.
Just say quickly. Just tell it. And I agree why Joe was and I agree. I agree with them on that one. I agree with them. Why they call Joe?
Let me just conclude on this. Trust me, Mercy will surely,
No, I'm not trickle. You can say anything.
The content
this is a political platform. This platform is a political platform. So if somebody said in someone said, then I'm political. Oh no, if you come here, you should know we miss.
But finally, let's just understand this, ladies and gentlemen. What happened, trust me, it tried to tarnish the reputation of Liberians living in South Korea. There are thousands of Liberians that are living here.
That's why we are condemning the act.
And trust me, all of the Liberians that are living here, some of us have our wives, our children living here alone, but children who are also born here, going to school here. Liberians here in university. Liberians here are working on different programs and what have you. Those guys are just visitors. And see what they are cost us in this country. I was just telling my neighbor, imagine my neighbor telling me that kind of a thing. Trust me now, you think even at the end of the day, still, put him better in a better place. But at the end of this day, it ringing bells in your mind. And the thing is on the people national television. It's on the social media. They are not like you and myself who are just so glued to Facebook. We don't watch television. No. These people follow everything on their electronic media. So it is a bad signal for all. We condemn it to the fullest, and we pray at the end of the day, once proper investigation is carried on, which of course we know that it will be carried on properly, these guys will be prosecuted. It is not like back home in our country that the government going to send for a forensic group to come in the country. No, the people got everything going to be going another right. They ain't got to send for anybody from America or Ghana or what have you to come carry a forensic report. Yeah. No, everything will be conducted right here. Very transparent.
And now cutting you off, CEO, the chances of officials of government even visiting Korea or official passport coming to Korea will be a big problem. Diplomatic passport will be a big problem. So this is huge. This is a big problem. That even I spoke with the first secretary in Japan, and I said it is very important that they come because they don't have a representative here in Korea, so they need to come because this will destroy a lot of things for us, and we will not sit back. Innocent Liberian, hardworking Liberian, we are going to make our petition. We are going to make our statement, and we are condemning the act. And if proven, they must go to jail. They must pay the penalty. Yes.
Thank you.
We are upset about this.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's the Diaspora Talk. We are here to discuss issues about our country, Liberia, how to move our country forward. Sometimes people feel so sentimental when we try to attack the issues.
Why are you talking biased?
But guess what? You attacking Tutu. You don't know I'm a physician.
Let's
That
go
CDC business, yeah, we'll talk it another time. The
And
pastor will
another
get on
CB
you.
thank you. Another CB
I don't know for Lincoln to be saying other people why I am here in front of him. Somebody say, why you keep saying other people? You a friend?
So guys, we had a wonderful time.
Never know the energy you get when it comes to discussing the issue. So he want me to hear him, but he don't want to direct.
No, but not just on the whole. I'm monitoring the comment section here, and I'm seeing a lot of messages. That's why I'm also responsible. So I mean, guys, thank you guys for being on here. We had a wonderful time, and trust me, next week, gonna be another fire burning discussion.
Thank you so much.
We need to discuss on those churches in Liberia some days, because some of them are not doing the churches good.
The pastor and get girlfriend in the church in the choir.
Yeah, that's it. Religious people, yeah.
They will fly to Ghana, then the girlfriend follow them.
Religious people, even traditional people. Our moral ethics are off the chain. We are not going by. We don't have any moral values anymore.
No moral values.
Yeah.
They got good ones, but most of
Yeah,
them
you guys are right, gentlemen. So we gotta cut it out there. We gotta go. We will be back again next week.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Me. Don't be saying other people there. I must see this.
Okay, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys have a wonderful time, man.
Have a blessed night. Bye-bye. Thank you, Lincoln.
In the whole world here is crying out. It's worth the Lord, listen to us now.
Yeah, Papa God, listen to your children, yeah. Yeah, the problem ain't finishing the war. Please listen to us, Papa God. Government officials coming all the way to South Korea to denigrate our country and people. It is so embarrassing, man. On this note, trust me, we draw the curtains to the end of our broadcast tonight.
Yo, kilo wala na jabano, kilo na tabino sa yabini wala de falano. Tu wala de made tamono, kilo de makide de buko de jo we when the falano. Wa majama bi de fina de ngama sina kidi wala sele do na makaya. Wala de jabano, so la go fame before we do what do de bekaya. Together we fight, together we can make it. And the one my time on the only you believe it. Together we fight, together we can make it. And the one my time on the only you believe it.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Evil, I got us thinking that we can't survive. But with God on our side, we shall overcome. Overcome, cause we already won. Lift your head up high. Boys and girls will cry. No need for sorrow. There's still tomorrow.
Even though we fighting people are but we might not lose our hopes. See, no matter how high the wall is, somebody not stand on top of that wall we go.
Yeah, even though we're fighting red kids back home, but trust me, we should not lose our hope. One found there, we will definitely get justice. Justice for everybody.
Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our grounds. Lord, listen to us now. Yeah, everybody here.
Yeah, my sister Nora Yakbazua, thank you for expressing how you felt for the incident that occurred in our homeland. South Korea is our hometown.
Let everybody hear us out. Let everybody say.
President, we are seeing a citizen for the war, right? New York, that is home. Korea is our home also, my people. We must protect our home.
They come, we fight, at the end we conquer. When heart turns down, our faith grows stronger. People think hard, all is not lost. No matter the cake, through viruses and wars. A bunch of David surrounded by Goliaths. Talk from tears, we have no borders. Stay positive, my message.
Yeah, we have a lot of Goliaths in our society. We must must get rid of them.
Together the stronger we stay alive.
Liberia to the war, my people. Say no to rape. Say no to sexual harassment. We condemn every act, every form of sexual exploitation. Hey, little Seattle, you are very, very late. I hope you never been a late student in school those days.
Everybody hear the sound.
Yeah, our sister Seattle Thompson. No. Okay, Seattle Thompson. My sister, you came very late. You know the time would not want to come home, man. Sensitive issue we'll discuss tonight.
I want people to die. You need to give a one good reason. Hope there's something to believe in. Hope we can fight this. Believe we don't know what it is.
We must protect our hometown, South Korea. Personally, we are hometown of New York now, right? Korea is also our hometown. We must protect this home. It's here we get our daily bread to help thousands of family and friends back home in Liberia. We must protect this land beyond all measure.
Everything around us, just like you see. Once we stick to
Yes, a good night from my end, my people. You have a wonderful, wonderful brand new week.
so
Say no to rape. Say no to sexual harassment. Say no to sexual assault.
Listen to us now.
Papa God be listening to us. We tired talking. We tired with protest. We actually need a change in our country, in our society.
Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our ground.
Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear us out. Let everybody hear
Papa God. On this note, good night, my people. 12 midnight in South Korea.
Fellow Liberians,